front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Vitrano.
WIAA is considering moving Reagan High School out of the Milwaukee City Conference.
Erik Bilstad.
With over 40 data centers and counting in Wisconsin, state Democrats are introducing a bill that would pause new construction.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
On the bypass, we've got an accident on the off-ramp to National Avenue. It's really causing some problems.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law offices make our community a better place.
They are the best.
For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law offices.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Six o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Wednesday, February 18th. Our top story, conflicting stories between Common Council members.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A forensic setback in Arizona.
I'm Debbie Lozica, Highway 175 southbound right at Wells Avenue. We have the left lane blocked with a crash, so watch out for that. Otherwise, the rest of the system is looking okay. Obviously, the roads are wet, so you want to be extra careful, but at the moment, we're moving along pretty well. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today. Rain coming to an end early today, then sun comes out. Windy and warm with a high of 60 degrees. Increasing clouds, low down to 35 tonight. Milwaukee right now at 48, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, two conflicting stories unfolding regarding an incident between two Milwaukee politicians at City Hall.
Alderwoman Jocasta Zamarripa is filing a formal complaint against Alderman Mark Chambers, who she says confronted her in her office on February 11th and that she was, quote, verbally berated and physically intimidated. In response, Chambers says he was not the aggressor in the exchange, which he says began when he was brought into her office to discuss an email regarding pending legislation. Chambers added 4 other unidentified Common Council members were in the room as well. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson declined a request for comment on the exchange. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Decision Wisconsin. The spring primary is in the books. The spring election will be in April. Meanwhile, a petition to recall the mayor of Port Washington coming up short. The city's clerk's office says the petition did not have the number of signatures required to initiate a mayoral recall election. The attempt to recall Mayor Ted Kneitzke came from residents who opposed the data center project in Port Washington.
Milwaukee Public Schools leaders coming up with solutions to fix major budget issues once again. A recent audit just revealed a budget deficit of some $46 million. Budget Director Nick Sinrem.
As a part of our review, we are doing a deep dive into every single contract and every single encumbrance and looking where we can reduce and eliminate obligations that have not already been expended.
School district also plans to freeze hiring for non-classroom positions, study transportation costs, and make cuts in service staffing.
Governor Evers is throwing a bit of cold water on a potential tax relief package that was proposed by GOP leadership in Madison. They have been discussing this, expected to talk about it again today, but during the State of the State in Madison on Tuesday night, Evers says more needs to be done.
In the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie, the first test results are back on crucial DNA evidence. ABC's Sophie Flay.
A forensic setback in the search for Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy. DNA recovered from a glove found 2 miles from Guthrie's home did not match samples in the FBI's national database. Another sample of DNA found on Guthrie's property is still undergoing analysis, but did not match DNA on the glove. Investigators will now extend the DNA search beyond their criminal database and into private family genealogy data from across the country, saying, "We believe that we may have some DNA there that may be our suspect."
Investigators calling the crime a targeted kidnapping despite having no new evidence that Guthrie was targeted because of her high-profile daughter.
Happening today, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg scheduled to testify in a landmark trial on social media addiction.
The case in Los Angeles Superior Court was brought by a 20-year-old woman who says she started using social media when she was 6 and became addicted to Meta's Instagram, spending up to 16 hours a day on the app. The lawsuit claims Meta deliberately engineered its apps to be addictive, using infinite scrolling and autoplay. Zuckerberg has testified before Congress several times, but never before a jury. This case is the first of more than 1,500 consolidated lawsuits to reach a jury. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Crews rescued 6 skiers after an avalanche in Northern California. They were found using a tarp as a makeshift shelter. 9 others are still missing.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:04. Coming up, no longer allowing this pizza topping.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian, screaming Sicilian, more.
Screaming Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care switched from a previous vendor to business technology from James Imaging Systems. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. It's not just all about the money. We're getting value here as well.
Robert Prang, CIO at Tri-City National Bank, likes the fact that James Imaging is local.
So being able to work with a local company like James that has that flexibility with their staff and being able to deliver for us has given us the ability to make the right decisions for our organization.
And Junior Achievement of Wisconsin VP of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, had this advice for others.
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Planning for 2026 starts now. A new deck from Outdoor Living Unlimited is built to last. We are Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team. For amazing ideas, go to our Outdoor Living Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate, go to OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:07.
Brewers owner on the competitive balance of baseball or lack thereof. His words in sports at 6:15.
Former Packers president Mark Murphy going to be inducted into the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame. Mark Cass, the executive director for the HOF, says Murphy's Super Bowl win is one factor, but his contributions to Lambeau Field outside of the game earned him the spot. He's been in office, or was, I should say, for nearly 20 years.
Wisconsin sturgeon spearing season underway and perhaps rapidly closing. The DNR's fisheries team supervisor, Tom Menrick, telling Wisconsin's Midday News no records have yet been broken.
The record fish is 212 pounds, and I think it was 84 inches, I believe, so like 7 feet long pretty much. And the biggest one we've had this year so far that I can recall was 149 pounds. So we're not even close to the record fish this year. But we have had quite a few fish over 100 pounds.
Ronna credits the great weather for the opening weekend and easy access to the lake for the successful start. Sturgeon spearing can run up to 16 days, but will stop when the harvest caps are reached.
We didn't realize this was a thing, but apparently it is. Sorry for you fans of iguana meat. No more pizza for you.
Bring iguanas to this place. They'll make you a pizza.
A pizzeria in North Palm Beach, Florida, has been ordered to take the winter special off the menu.
Chunk bacon first, venison. All right, for the star of the show, iguana.
After a slew of complaints, the local health department says the Everglades pie may not be up to regulatory snuff. Buck's Coal Fired had been making the pizza with fresh meat from frozen reptiles that were falling from trees like flies during a recent cold snap. The owner says they got about 1,500 calls for iguana pizzas after the video went viral. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
As you may recall, of course, iguana's cold-blooded, so when the temps drop like they do from time to time in Florida, you'll see them become paralyzed and fall from the trees.
So, but I'm not hearing in there that there were negative health outcomes. Like any meat, if you cook it, no.
Yeah, it's all about the seasoning.
So what's the problem here?
Could be good.
I guess maybe you just don't want the guy at the pizza parlor butchering iguana. Fair enough. 6:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, everybody, it's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Access Legal. I see firsthand how hard Wisconsin workers push themselves. From the construction crews on the roads I monitor every day to the countless jobs that strain the body over time. For many, that wear and tear turns into real pain. My friends at Access Legal understand what you're going through, and they want to help. Their team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers and will fight for the benefits you're entitled to as well. Worn down by work? Contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation. That's AXIS Legal.
MW Marine. Fishermen, tired of winter? Come in from the cold at MW Marine this Saturday, starting at 11 a.m. for a free fishing seminar. Meet Captain Doug Klett, Mercury Pro, as he breaks down springtime muskies on Lake Geneva, where to find them and how to get them to bite. Then check out boats, upgrades, and accessories to get your rig ready for the season. It's free and no reservations required. MW Marine.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
Every Monday and Thursday, buy one pizza, get a second pizza absolutely free at the Mineshaft Family Restaurant in downtown Hartford. Google the Mineshaft today.
6:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Let's get a look at the ride this morning, Deb. What road?
Well, we still have this accident on Highway 175 southbound at Wells. The left lane is blocked there. That's the northern part of the stadium interchange. So just be careful with that. A couple of other broken down vehicles. One on the off-ramp to National Avenue from northbound 4394. And another one on 43 northbound just past the Port Washington Road ramp. It's in Ozaukee County. It's off on the right shoulder as well. Other than those, we are actually looking at a pretty good ride. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
For TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson with your Storm Team forecast. After some early morning thunder, quickly becoming sunny, windy, and warm for our Wednesday. Temperatures topping out near 60 degrees. Westerly winds, though, could gust as high as 35 miles per hour. We'll look for increasing cloud cover tonight, lows in the mid-30s. Most of our Thursday spent under a mostly cloudy sky. It'll be mild again, highs in the upper 40s. We'll look for a chance for some late-day showers and isolated thunder.
Milwaukee at 48 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
Happening today, search and rescue in California. Search teams scrambling to find backcountry skiers who are feared missing following an avalanche in Northern California.
Medical for an avalanche in the area of Castle Peak. Reported as 9 to 10 people buried, 3 others attempting to dig them out.
Yes, skiers buried. That's the audio from Broadcastify. This is northwest of Lake Tahoe in the area of Castle Peak. 9 skiers remain missing this morning.
A group of 15 skiers and their guides was on the last leg of a 3-day backcountry trip when the avalanche struck. 6 of them made it to a cabin and were rescued. 9 are still unaccounted for.
It took us several hours to even get, equipment to the scene and get resources deployed.
Captain Russell Green with the Nevada County Sheriff's Office says the conditions are treacherous.
Snowing, very little visibility, high avalanche danger.
2 of the 6 rescued skiers had to be treated at a hospital. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Imagine that. This happens, and then you're trying to dig out your friend, who you don't even know how close you are to that person. Plus, that Captain Green there you heard in that story saying that this is a really dangerous area to send more help.
The interstate's closed. The area is very tough to access. And the more people that we have up there, the higher chance of another incident happening.
So these skiers were on a 3-day expedition, started Sunday. They've been staying at Frog Lake Huts That, according to the mountain guides that were with them, company responsible for this group, they were in the process of returning to the trailhead at the end of their trip when this avalanche hit. Plus, we have this huge storm rolling through much of the western portion of the country as well.
I was just going to say, it's going to get worse before it gets better for any of those people searching for them this morning. 6:14 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
We see you out there coming up with original ideas, which is why you shop at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Because you know that when inspiration stirs, we'll have what you need at prices that help make it happen. During our big pet care event, save $3 on assorted Blaine's brand pet food. Rewards members save an extra $2. 25% off all dog and cat toys. Plus, get a free $15 Blaine's gift card when you buy a Seresto flea and tick collar for cats or dogs. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Memphis and Nashville, South Dakota, Mackinac Island, Niagara Falls, all places you might want to visit. And you can do it all by luxury motor coach with KB Excursions. Vince Vitrano here. I just got the full list of the 2026 trips available from Amy over at KB Excursions. It's a local family-owned company. They're based in Oak Creek, and they're booking these trips and more for the summer and into the fall. Now, Khalid, he's the owner over there. Met him a number of times. He hires only the best drivers to take you to see America, because Khalid used to drive the bus himself before he decided to launch his own company. So he and his team know exactly how to treat everybody on board. All of these trips come without the hassle and the extra cost of flying. Some start at just over $1,000 a person. View the full list of destinations across the Midwest and beyond now at kbexcursions.com. And when you call to book your trip, tell them Vinny sent you.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Yes, the first Brewers squad workout in the books in Arizona as we get underway in Maryville. And for fans, there's always hope and excitement. There's also concern. Can the crew do it again? Do they have the players, or do they have the money to be able to pull it off?
As the Brewers began their first full squad workout on Tuesday in Maryville, principal owner Mark Atanasio was addressing the media. Among the topics, competitive balance and potentially labor strife.
Whatever the system is, however it looks like the cards are stacked against us, we're going to compete. We've done that for 21 years. In baseball, we're trying to have competitive balance so the fans can come out and have hope for full 30 teams.
But Atanasio also warns, just because there could be a salary cap doesn't mean the game is suddenly balanced.
Everybody talks about the Dodgers' payroll. Whatever we can have in players, they got more. Whatever guys Matt can hire, and he hires the best and the brightest, they have more.
Live from Phoenix, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
Dodgers are going to... Sorry, thanks, Dom. Dodgers are going to Dodger, no matter what. Hey, by the way, concern of a lockout next season heightened now in the news of the head of the Players Union, Tony Clark, resigning. Clark's been ahead of the union for 10 years. You got this huge year of negotiating upcoming, and he's out, resigning because of alleged financial improprieties. And now ESPN and others reporting that he was apparently having an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law, who is also hired by the union. So now they have no leadership at the union, and they have this big year of negotiating ahead.
Wisconsin's Jordan Stoltz races again tomorrow in the 1,500-meter speed skate at the Olympics. He struck gold twice already at these games, including most recently the 500, where Jordan's dad, Dirk Stoltz, said he spoke with his son the night before the race.
Just by the tone of his voice, he was like super relaxed, super confident. You know, we talked about the pairings, and he's like, it doesn't matter whether I'm on the inner or the outer. He was that confident.
It don't matter, Pop.
Right. What's so cool about that is Jordan, like if you've heard him and seen him at these games, he's not boastful, but he is bluntly honest when he feels good. He's sure about what he's doing. Dirk Stoltz talking with Milwaukee Journal Sentinel's Lori Nickel, who is returning from Milan and will join us live on race day tomorrow. Also on the oval, Marquette University graduate Emery Lehman. On the men's team, Pursuit claimed silver for the U.S. We had him on this year's program.
That's right,
Must have helped him. He was thinking about that at the starting.
Being on the radio here in Wisconsin.
I wonder if those guys are going to have me back on. Men's hockey team, Team USA in the quarterfinal game against Sweden. Puck drops at 2:10 this afternoon. Green Bay Packers announcing special teams coordinator and assistant head coach Rich Bisaccia is stepping down. Been with the team for 4 seasons. Former Green Bay Packers president Mark Murphy will be inducted into the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame this summer.
We have a lot of noon home games. We're a shitty team.
Murphy, of course, just retired this past summer. The first name announced in the 76th annual Hall of Fame class ceremony coming up in July.
College basketball at Marquette hosts the red-hot Red Storm of St. John's at Fiserv tonight. That game on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. College basketball as well. Badgers fall to Ohio State, 86-69. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more. And happening today, tickets will go on sale for a live taping of the Thanalysis show. He does this every year, Thanalysis and crew. They'll do another live show at the Riverside. It's March 27th. Special guest Ric Flair. And tickets go on sale today.
Ric Flair in the house for
Yes,
this.
sir.
Don't we usually do this in fall? This is a spring edition.
No, there was a spring one.
Yeah?
Yeah. You've been there.
I have. I guess they're all running together.
This year at the
which is great.
Riverside.
6:19 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts. The only place to get this.
Ousmane Chang driving down the right side of the lane with a tough shot. He has proven to be a diamond in the rough for John Horst.
With some of this.
Gives us size. We finally got a three, and it's a bigger one that can play out there on the wing and perimeter and give us some defensive ability.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Prime time for critter emergence. We're about to be in it. Vince Vitrano here for the Bugman and Queen Bee, the folks I use for pest control in our home. And we've had critters in the past, no more, since we began working with the Bugman. Adams, the Bugman himself, says sometimes these temperature fluctuations, what they cause mice, rats, and whatever other critters might be out there, try to gain entry into your home or business. If they're already inside, lots of places to call. How about supporting this local, family, and veteran-owned business based right here in West Dallas? Once the critters are out, you want to make sure they don't come back. The full rodent inspection, closing off entry points, and monthly monitoring to make sure they don't get back inside. Tell Julie when you call that Vinny sent you. BugmanQueenBee.com.
Hey, Gene Miller here. The heart of winter is the best time to call my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating and cooling dollars down the road with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from brands like Pella, Anderson, Marvin, and more. Hometown is your local source for wood, vinyl, or fiberglass, plus all of their products are installed by employee carpenters. Stop into their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin and see the Hometown difference. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. HometownWindows.com.
621, time saver traffic. Deb, what's happening out there?
Well, we still have that accident on 175 southbound at Wells. The left lane blocked right now because of that crash. Otherwise, we're looking at a pretty good ride. Just a few broken down vehicles here and there scattered about, but they are out of traffic. So the only real delay I'm seeing is a little bit of a backup through the stadium on the westbound side of 94. But overall, looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Some rain early on, then going to be becoming mostly sunny, windy, and warm today. The high today, 60. Tonight, more clouds, a low of 35. Thursday, chance for showers again, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm, a high of 48. Friday, a rain-snow mix and a high of 40. 622.
Saw you moving your knee. Were you looking for the radar up there? Yeah, it looks like most of the rain is out of here. Got a pretty good dose, though. Wet. Anybody hear any thunder?
The cells looked strong coming through.
Was a legit rainstorm overnight. 622 now. The Milwaukee Common Council is in the news again for stuff happening off the field. A sports reference there for you. You know, you got the game, you got your team, you got your players. They're doing what they do on the field. And then somebody gets involved in something for not good reasons. Everybody calls it a distraction, right? Guy gets in trouble with the law, says something stupid on social media, and fans and coaches worry that it's a distraction, right? Distraction in the locker room. And that takes away from the focus needed to perform in the game, which is what really matters. Well, it seems like there's plenty of that going on at City Hall lately in Milwaukee. You've got the council president and accusations that became public against the president and CEO of the Wisconsin Center District, distracting from the important conversations about what to do with the Miller High Life Theater, the UWM Panther Arena. Covered that over the last couple of weeks. Now this. a couple of council members who so do not get along, which is not rare in politics, right?
It happens.
Okay. Accusations of bullying, shouting match, physical intimidation at Milwaukee City Hall. Alderwoman Jocasta Zamarripa accusing Alderman Mark Chambers of an explosive confrontation just days ago, and now they're both issuing statements. So now it's out there. We're talking about it. It's been in the news. So let's start with her claim. I'll give you the alderman's defense, and then we'll try to get to what even this was about. Zamarripa represents a district on the near south side of Milwaukee, and here's what she alleges happened last week. What should have been a conversation among colleagues quickly escalated into something far more serious. I was confronted in my office, verbally berated, and physically intimidated in a way that made me feel trapped and unable to safely exit. Multiple individuals witnessed what occurred. During the encounter, I was subjected to profane and degrading remarks, including being taunted to, quote, start crying. The comments were gendered and demeaning. This is not the first time I've experienced hostility from this individual.
What does gendered mean? Like misogynistic?
Perhaps. I don't know. It's Milwaukee and the things that they argue over. So that's, in part, her statement about what happened. Let's hear from Alderman Chambers, his side of the story. And then we can get into what they were even warring on. Alderman Mark Chambers represents District 2 near Northside. I want to begin by acknowledging the seriousness of the claims that have been made and by affirming that every member of the Common Council deserves to feel safe, respected, and able to carry out their duties without fear or intimidation. I take those responsibilities and the trust placed in me as an elected official very seriously. I must strongly and unequivocally dispute the characterization of the events described regarding February 11. Public account provided by Alderwoman Zamarripa and sources does not accurately reflect what occurred. For the record, voices were raised by everyone in the room during this exchange. At no point did I physically block, threaten, or prevent anyone from leaving, nor did I misuse my authority in any way. While the discussion was candid and at moments intense, as can happen when elected officials engage passionately on issues affecting their constituents, raised voices or strong disagreement should not be misrepresented as intimidation, abuse, or misconduct. I categorically reject those assertions.
That's a very important statement right there, what he's saying there, that last sentence, because that is the question then, whether or not were you just raising your voice and upset about something and maybe even swinging your hand around, or were you threatening in a way, intimidating in a way?
And no one's disputing that this went down.
Right. There was,
and no one's disputing that there were loud raised voices.
Yep.
So what was it even about? Apparently, they were discussing the council's proposed ice-out legislation. We covered that in the news this week. They want to put restrictions on immigration enforcements operating in the city. This from Alderman Chambers again. I was brought into Alderwoman Zamarripa's office by Common Council President Jose Perez to discuss an email I had previously sent to those members regarding the pending legislation and their disagreements. So what had happened was Alderman Chambers had sent a note around to a few other council members. He was bent out of shape over the ice-out file being drafted because he and another alderman, Peter Bergelis, said, we were working on this in some of the provisions, and in fact, we were working to engage local police and the city attorney's office to make sure that this was all going to be good.
So this happens from time to time, right? You have an idea, you're working on some things, and some larger event happens or larger incident, everyone gets involved, and they kind of blanket or envelope.
Right.
And he was frustrated by that?
Well, he's saying, like, we had some other stuff here, and you didn't ask us to participate in this, and now you've got this thing, and it doesn't include our stuff, and hello, hand, this is foot.
Right.
What are you up to today? A failure to collaborate?
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Failure to communicate. So, is this a bully? Creating a toxic work environment, and not just for the alderwoman in question, but City Hall's a workplace like any other place. You got staff, you got visitors, you got people who have business with the city. They enjoy workplace protections like anybody else, or is it a local elected official who can't handle a little rough and tumble political debate, which is part and parcel to the job? This we know is another off-the-field distraction for this group of 15 men and women who are engaged in this instead of doing the business of the people. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up 32 points. The NASDAQ was up 32 as well, and the S&P 500 at 6843 was up 7 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. Quite simply the best in the business. You got a shoulder that's not feeling great. Maybe it's an ankle or a knee. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin and their top-tier doctors can get you feeling how you deserve to feel. My wife, Michelle, had a back issue. OHOW put her in a great place. She's on the mend. She's feeling better. She's doing all the things that she wants to do. Start at the website, ohow.com, ohow.com. Request an appointment. Start your journey to feeling better with the best. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets, something that can positively affect your mood, getting organized and clearing out the clutter. A well-rounded closet could be the most powerful room in your home. Inspired Closets can transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. What separates Inspired Closets from the others? Their 3D design software and a culture that promises to build what you want and need. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, a wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Search teams in the snowy Sierra Nevada in Northern California hunting for skiers still missing after being caught in an avalanche north of Lake Tahoe. 6 have been rescued. In the search for Nancy Guthrie, now missing for more than 2 weeks in Arizona, investigators have struck out on DNA pulled from gloves found a couple of miles from her home. No match. Here's ABC's Sophie Flay.
Investigators say they have no new evidence that Guthrie was targeted because of her high-profile daughter, but the sheriff says he does not think this was a random crime.
Targeted kidnapping.
Yes, I believe whoever did that knew what they were up to.
So do you believe
knew who they were after?
He says the best evidence they have is video from Guthrie's doorbell camera. The suspect in the video was armed.
Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg faces questions later today in a Los Angeles trial, a lawsuit accusing social media platforms of getting kids addicted to their feeds. Day 5 of the partial government shutdown, no deal yet to break the stalemate over DHS funding. This is ABC News.
We got a pretty good ride shaping up for the most part. Our earlier accident on 175 southbound at Wells has been cleared, so that's good news. Westbound 94 backing up from just west of 27th Street through the stadium to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's tightening up a bit right past 70th Street to about Hawley Road. Other than that, we're looking at a pretty good ride. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast a high of 60 degrees today. Our morning rain should largely be out over the lake, and we're looking for mostly sunny skies. Tonight, increasing clouds and a low of 35. Right now at 48. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee alderman has now filed a formal complaint against a fellow alderperson after an incident between the two.
Alderwoman Jocasta Zamaripa claims she was confronted in her office by Alderman Mark Chambers February 11th before being yelled at over an unknown matter. In a statement, Zamaripa claims she, quote, felt trapped and unable to safely exit, and that multiple witnesses heard the exchange. Chambers, in a post on X, acknowledged an exchange occurred, but disputed that anyone was in harm's way. Zamaripa is also requesting a full investigation under the City of Milwaukee's Ethics Code. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
MPS is facing a $46 million budget deficit revealed by a recent audit, and the superintendent, Brenda Caselli, says one way they're making up the difference is by reviewing staff contracts. During a committee meeting Tuesday night,
I've been saying all along that we need to dig into our contracts and make sure that we are looking at our obligations in our contracts. Particularly, I was interested mostly because of cost savings and what we could do in terms of limiting contracts. But recently, we wanted to make sure that we were taking a deeper dive. So our team is looking into all of our contracts.
MPS plans to pay $23 million this year and next year to make up the difference.
An elderly woman recovering after being hit by a car in Wauwatosa
It happened last Friday as she was trying to cross the street near 68th and Wells in Wauwatosa. 38-year-old Marlon Espinoza allegedly hit the 80-year-old woman while driving her 12-year-old son to McDonald's, which she had already passed. Espinoza told officers she took Listerine shots earlier that day and then failed a field sobriety test. The elderly woman was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. If convicted on all charges, Espinoza faces up to 29 years in prison and the revocation of her driver's license. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
First full team workout for the Brewers was Tuesday in the books, and the host, Brewers Extra Innings host, Dom Catronio, is there. He tells Wisconsin Midday News the secret to the Brewers' success in training their pitchers.
This season, this is the first time that every single spring training facility will have StatCast data available because of the new ABS system, because of the new ball strike system. Any little thing that you can measure, the Brewers have somebody that can read that, translate that, and try to produce into quality big leaguers like we've seen over the last 6 to 8 years.
Pitchers will be in action Saturday, of course. Our first game of Cactus League play against the Guardians right here on WDTMJ Radio.
That sounds like something that is important and will make our team better, E. I also never want to hear about it again. This is one of those things like we're breaking down our love and art and enjoyment of sports into stats and projections and all this stuff. Y'all handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Traffic is brought to you by Plum Media, video production and live event management, plummedia.com.
They bring your message to life, on screen or on stage. Plum Media, live events and video that tell your story. Helping Wisconsin businesses since 1997. Visit plummedia.com.
Coming up, so does it really come to a screeching halt?
Hey, the Lenten season is here. Experience the fabulous all-you-care-to-eat Friday fish fry at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. WTMJ's John Mercure here, one of the best. All other dinners are buy one, get one free every night. Even Saturdays. Savor your favorite steak, the twin lobster tails, the mixed grill of a filet, shrimp, and scallops, honey glazed salmon, any entree, ribs, you got it. All buy one, get one free. Desserts also buy one, get one free. Only at the famous Fox and Hounds. Unwind tonight with an old-fashioned. Choose from 20 bourbons, 100 wines. Enjoy in one of the 8 elegant dining rooms with 7 real wood-burning fireplaces. You're going to feel warm and welcomed and cozy. Take your family to the Fox and Hounds this week. Half of your dinners are free. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the Holy Hill Shrine. Serving dinner from 4 p.m. today. Dine early. Tables are open. Serving Saturday lunch from 11 till 2. Google, call, and reserve your Friday haddock Lenten fish fry and free dinner. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
At Abbey Home, our mission statement is making lives easier. Let us make your life easier by custom designing the bathroom to fit your needs so you can stay in your home longer. We will make your shower system safe but stylish by taking out your old tub, and you'll be able to walk right into your new shower. We'll add grab bars, a stationary seat, and glass doors that'll make your new bathroom a stylish success. Right now, get a free shower door with all bathrooms and payments as low as $98 a month. If somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
2026 Brewers tickets are on sale now. This year, it all kicks off at our house with opening day at home, followed up with a schedule that's absolutely loaded. Throw in the same flair for the dramatic thrills on any given night. Plus Brewers giveaways you won't forget. And you've got a season you're going to have to see to believe. Don't miss a second of Brewers action this year. The crew is back for more. All Brewers tickets for the 2026 season are on sale now at brewers.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 6:37.
Why did Jordan Stoltz's dad say it looked like a drug deal was going down at the games and he was involved? That story in sports at 6:45.
So Ash Wednesday is here. Fat Tuesday is over. Remember on Tuesday we were questioning a story about whether or not things really come to a screeching halt at midnight in New Orleans.
That was the quote from the story.
Yeah, and we're kind of like,
halt.
Well, now we're getting to the bottom of it.
Mardi Gras 2026 is in the books, and it was one heck of a party.
New Orleans Mayor Helena Moreno announcing to the crowds that Fat Tuesday is over and Ash Wednesday has arrived. She was joined by the police chief and Kirkpatrick.
It's time to go home, folks.
They then led scores of officers on horseback, in cars, and on foot, parting the crowd of thousands still partying right up till midnight on Bourbon Street. Dave Cohen for CBS News, New Orleans.
All right, I guess.
Now get to church immediately.
Repent.
You don't have to go home. You should be going to church.
It's the large scale equivalent of the bouncer at the bar. Let's go.
And they all had
clapping his hands. Hey, let's go.
They all had ash, like putting it on people's forehead as they were walking out.
He did not. Comes later. 6:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises, and staying ahead of the curve no matter what Congress throws your way. So before the Big Beautiful Bill takes a bite out of your hard-earned savings, let's make sure your plan is designed to help prepare for uncertainty. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. That's TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping build retirement confidence right here in Wisconsin.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. Traffic is sponsored by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Whatever the weather, visit WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. Another two-man scramble tournament is underway at Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Play the legendary TPC Scottsdale on their spacious, state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now to win cash prizes. Must play in February.
Time saver traffic at 20 to 7. Debbie.
Still looking at some delays out there. Westbound 94 from 27th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. We've also got the eastbound side backing up a bit from 84th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Other than that, just a couple of broken down vehicles here and there out of traffic, so it shouldn't really affect your ride too much. Looking pretty good otherwise. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
From TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson with your Storm Team forecast. After some early morning thunder, quickly becoming sunny, windy, and warm for our Wednesday. Temperatures topping out near 60 degrees. Westerly winds, though, could gust as high as 35 miles per hour. We'll look for increasing cloud cover tonight, lows in the mid-30s. Most of our Thursday spent under a mostly cloudy sky. It'll be mild again, highs in the upper 40s. We'll look for a chance for some late-day showers and isolated thunder.
Milwaukee now at 48.
All the action's at the mall, but we'd rather be here skating. The action's at the mall, but we'd rather be here skating.
6:42 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
New Jersey.
A couple of shows on stage to tell you about right now. That's music from the Tony Award-winning Best Musical Kimberly Akimbo playing now at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. We went opening nights last night, so late one, but
good show.
Worth it. Really refreshing show is how I would describe it. I didn't know much about it going in, only told that you have to see it. It's really good. Everybody's talking about it. Won the Tony in 23 for Best Musical. Storyline is a 16-year-old girl with a rare condition that makes her age physically 4 to 5 times faster than a healthy child. I think it's a real thing. Incredibly rare, but that's the centerpiece. So she's in high school, but looks like she's 60.
Okay.
And then it's very funny. I would, if you're thinking of going, I would rate it R for language. Nothing sexual on stage or whatever, but there's some words in there that made the Milwaukee crowd
cringe a little bit.
Yeah, there are a couple words. Don't hear that a lot nonetheless on stage. So there was that, but really cool show. That runs through the weekend at the Marcus Center. And then another show that we took in, this is at Milwaukee Rep.
I think that McNeil is the right play to open the Harold Franke Studio Theater because we're going to be immersed in this digital aesthetic.
It's one of the performers in the show. The Rep is performing McNeil in its newly rebuilt studio theater. And we went for the opening of that as well. And in this space, it's super teched out. There's like a giant HD screen for the full rear of the stage, screens on the set pieces, and it worked out perfectly because the story is about a Pulitzer Prize-winning writer using AI and other people's stuff to inform his AI to write novels. And is that okay? And is it plagiarism? But if you tell AI to write it in your well-established voice, is that you? It was fascinating.
Yeah, okay.
For the time. So a couple of shows that I really recommend.
Well, what about your news? You going to mention that?
I will, I suppose.
You have some news.
Well, as you can tell if you listen to the show, I'm personally a big supporter of the performing arts in the community. Believe strongly that there are benefits to all of the region, spiritually and economically, to having a vibrant arts community. So United Performing Arts Fund has asked me to co-chair this year's annual campaign. So the goal every year is to raise literally millions of dollars, but you do it under one roof, and then that's distributed to the performing arts institutions to, in some cases, even allow them to exist, in others, and all to allow them to thrive.
That is quite a compliment. That's quite an honor. Congratulations, first of all.
It's a lot of worky.
Who you Well, and by the way, we should point out you're not leaving the show, right?
That's right. No, this is not a full. It will feel like a full-time job, but that is in addition to.
Who's your co-chair?
And Cecilia Gore of the Milwaukee Brewers Community Foundation will be my co-chair.
So
actually, I will be her co-chair.
I was going to say
she does that for a living. I'm going to help out a little bit.
Okay.
So go see the
Congratulations.
show.
That's awesome.
The campaign culminates in the UPAF Ride for the Arts presented by Miller Lite. That's at the end of May. So McNeil at Milwaukee Rep through March 23rd, and Kimberly Akimbo playing now through Sunday at the Marcus Performing Arts Center.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. The last 3 times that I've actually had to go in and see my doc at OAW, we worked out solutions to my injuries without surgery. Still pretty active. I do golf, tennis, pickleball, lots of starting and stopping with all that stuff, cranking on the back, the neck, the knees, and from time to time, get hurt. So what I want first is to get back out there playing my sports as soon as possible. Same for the young athletes in your house probably. I'm sure OAW understands you don't want to come in and have the doctors signing up for surgery right away. And like I said, the surgeons at OAW spend most of their time working on non-surgical solutions to your pain. I've gotten exercises, physical therapy, anti-inflammatory meds. All of those have helped me recover from injuries. Honest doctors, nurses, and therapists committed to your health. Get started online now at orthowisconsin.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
As the Brewers get underway with their full squad workouts and our first broadcast on Saturday, a lot of concern, of course, for fans when it comes to, competitive balance and that kind of thing. Mark Attanasio speaking to reporters on Tuesday. He says the Brewers will compete. He says they are looking for more competitive balance, but no matter what happens as they go through this whole contract dispute and figure out the collective bargaining agreement for next year, if hopefully they do. He says even if there is a salary cap, Dodgers are still going to be the Dodgers. They're still going to have a lot of money and be huge and all that. So just a warning that no matter what happens with the CBA. Also had this little interesting nugget. I appreciated this. He talked about the Caleb Durbin trade, and obviously that was one that everyone was a little shocked by trading this young up-and-comer, thought that he had a lot of talent, he could stick with the team. He said the first person who called him.
The first call I got when this got announced, by the way, was from Commissioner Alan H. Budson. What are they telling you? So, yeah, that's a really hard decision. The easy decision is to just go as she goes,
Yeah,
right?
just float down the river. That's the easy decision. But Matt Arnold and his team find other ways to remain competitive. By the way, speaking of the CBA, there's a major concern now. So that's going to the current CBA expires in December. The head of the union, Tony Clark, has resigned. He's got some investigations for alleged financial issues. Also, apparently was in an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law who works for the union. So that's not good.
that worked
Leadership
out.
vacuum right now for the union, and that's not good as we're getting closer to that ultimate date.
At the Olympics today, men's hockey, Team USA in the quarterfinal game against Sweden. Puck drops at 2:10 this afternoon. In speed skating, Marquette University grad Emery Lehman on the men's team pursuit, claiming silver for the U.S. And Wisconsin's Jordan Stoltz skates for his third gold in a row. That is tomorrow in the 1,500 meter, and hopefully he's got enough steak. His father, Dirk Stoltz, has been bringing Jordan steaks to cook up at the Olympic Village during the games. That's like what he wants to fuel his performance. And Dad, who is a former Washington County Sheriff's deputy, admits it looked pretty shady.
Yeah, we found where the Olympic Village is, and then Mark ends up showing up on a bike with a backpack, and I get out of the car with a package, and looks like a drug deal going down on the street, and we give each other a hug, and he goes on his way. So that's how he's getting his steaks.
Here's your meat.
Mark Yanagihara, Jordan's skate guy, takes him back into the village. I suppose they must have a chef there that'll cook your own stuff.
That's
if that's
cool.
what you want, whatever it takes to fuel the guy. Lori Nickel, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, sent me that interview that she did with Jordan's dad at the game. Lori is on her way back stateside and will join us to preview Jordan's race tomorrow live on the show.
College basketball, Badgers fall to Ohio State. Marquette plays St. John's tonight on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, and tickets go on sale for the Thanalza show, which is March 27th at the Riverside. Tickets go on sale today.
Fishermen, tired of winter? Come in from the cold at MW Marine this Saturday, starting at 11 a.m. for a free fishing seminar. Meet Captain Doug Klett, Mercury Pro, as he breaks down springtime muskies on Lake Geneva, where to find them and how to get them to bite. Then check out boats, upgrades, and accessories to get your rig ready for the season. It's free and no reservations required. MW Marine.
Vince Vitrano here. Finding the right talent today, that's not enough. It's also difficult and critical. In a world shaped by rapid change, AI, and evolving skills, you got to have people who are ready to adapt and lead in your organization. And that's where LAK Group comes in. They are the experts in recruiting across your organization, finding top candidates, assessing their skills. Are they the right culture fit? Ability to thrive in the workplace of tomorrow. At LAK Group, they don't just help you fill positions. They help you build high-performing teams that are engaged, future-ready, and equipped to navigate what's next. LAK Group, your partner in building what's next. Let's find your next star at lakgroup.com.
Looking for some winter magic? You'll find it in Lake Geneva. Hit the slopes to ski, snowboard, or tube. Hike or snowshoe through a state park or nature preserve. Enjoy ice skating, ziplining, and even fat tire biking. And turn mealtime inside out with a cozy igloo or barrel dining experience. When it's time to come inside, catch a show with live music, magic, or dancing horses. Check out the unique shops and boutiques and melt away the winter chill at an award-winning spa. Learn more about things to do in Lake Geneva at visitlakegeneva.com. It's always been the place for winter fun.
I'm Libby Collins. This week we talk with the co-host of Wisconsin Morning News, Erik Bilstad.
There was a story about some underwear thief. That makes some people uncomfortable using that word. And the number of people who called or emailed saying, hey, why are you talking with that language and all that stuff? And I was like, oh, I had no idea. Cronkite probably wouldn't have dropped a panty.
WTMJ Conversations, Sunday mornings at 11 on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Time saver traffic at 6:52. Hey, Deb.
Hey there. Eastbound 94, slowing down from 92nd Street all the way to Hawley Road. The westbound side's backed up from just west of 27th Street past Mitchell Boulevard. The rest of the system is looking pretty good. Starting to tighten up just a little bit on 894 westbound, starting at about 35th Street, heading past Loomis to about 51st. Otherwise, for the most part, looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Forecast sponsored by Dave Drake-Camp Heating. The rain is gone. Sunny, windy, and warm today. A high of 60. Tonight, more clouds and a low of 35. Cooler tomorrow, a high of 48 with a chance for thunderstorms.
At 6:53, bringing in our friend and teammate from 101.7 The Truth, host of Truth in the Afternoon, and former Milwaukee Police Lieutenant Dr. Ken Harris, who has agreed to avail us with Black History Month education.
Oh, I was going to say,
this month of February.
I invented it. Like, wow.
You invented Black History Month. You did not.
So every year when I was growing up, I would be, driving through Chicago, and I would see this big place that said Carter G. Woodson Library. And, you drive by, the school is named after, Henry Ossabaw Tanner. I'm like, I don't know these people. Like, who comes up with these names? Well, I found out later Carter G. Woodson is actually called the father of Black history. And he believed that a people without recorded history is a people without power. Born in 1875 to formerly enslaved parents, Woodson understood that the story of Black Americans was being ignored, distorted, or basically erased from textbooks and public memory. Sounds like 2026.
Yeah, are we having this conversation right now?
In 1915, he founded the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, of which I'm a proud member, to promote scholarly research on Black life. In 1926, he launched Negro History Week, strategically placing it in February in honor of two birthdays. You know whose birthdays those are?
Yes, Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln.
He talked about that. So, two figures already recognized in Black communities. His goal was not simply celebration, it was correction. In 76, they made it Black History Month.
So that was the official beginning.
That was the official beginning of Black History Month. Yep.
The history behind the month.
And so it went 50 years as just a week.
Did you just pull that name off of that particular, had you known anything about him before you? Okay, so you, I was going to say, there are buildings and bridges and freeways and things named after people all the time, and good for you to bother.
Yep, Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable. We hear about Du Sable Museum and Du Sable this. Well, he was the Black man who literally founded Chicago, but most people don't know it. So there's a lot of history that we just kind of skip over that's in everyday life.
Speaking of Chicago and speaking of history, how will history look upon the Reverend Jesse Jackson now that he has passed away at the age of 84?
I would say he's the last of the leaders of the civil rights era. I knew him fairly well, had met him on several occasions. I was telling Afternoon News, my first journalistic entry at age 20 into journalism, my first interview was with the Reverend Jesse Jackson at McCormick Place in Chicago. You get this 20-year-old kid from WUIC, University of Illinois, Chicago.
He was already a giant.
Microphone. Oh, scary. And the guy was like 6'4", 6'5", and you think you've grown, but you really haven't, right? And you're like 5'10", and he stands up and there's this big booming voice, but he had a presence, and I see now why he was able to go overseas and talk to people and do what politicians couldn't do, because he could literally talk you into anything. The voice, and it was rhythmic, and he would talk. On top of that, he was a preacher. So he pretty much talk you into anything.
I told Erik that story. Sorry, I didn't mean to, but I wanted to share this with you. The first I ever heard of the Reverend was in the mid-'80s, and I was young. It must have been one of the conventions. And I recall my dad, who's a linguist, right? He was a Latin teacher. He loved orators.
Yep.
And I remember him nudging me and saying, hey, you need to listen to this guy.
Yeah.
This guy can make a speech. And if that's all it did was make those inroads in our community, right, Ken?
Yes, he did.
Caused me to pay attention.
Yes, he did. Powerful man. Big loss.
6:58. Thank you, Ken. On Wisconsin's Morning News Business Journal report, sponsored by the Alliance Smarter Networks, Serious Savings.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The Village Board in Menominee Falls has approved incentives for Milwaukee Tool's planned expansion. The tool maker is planning a $205 million project that includes new buildings and remodeling existing offices. The Hampton Inn and Suites near State Fair Park sold for $9.1 million. The 101-room hotel was sold by an affiliate of Stand Rock Hospitality in Wisconsin Dells. The deal closed February 11th. The Oak Creek Common Council has approved a conditional use permit to revive a delayed 36-unit condo project. The developer is again proposing 10 townhome-style buildings. Construction on the Royal Estates condominiums could begin this year. I'm David Schuyler for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Tired of watching your company's healthcare costs rise 8, 9, or even double-digit percentages every year? There's a better way with The Alliance. For more than 35 years, employers have turned to The Alliance to lower their healthcare costs, improve access to high-value care, and keep their employees healthy. With powerful data and insights, The Alliance gives self-funded employers the tools to make informed decisions that help bend the medical cost trend. And it's working. Employers of all sizes and industries are seeing measurable results, from fewer unnecessary procedures and lower out-of-pocket costs to shorter recovery times and more productive, engaged workforces. The Alliance's recent partnerships with major health systems in the Midwest are giving employees even more in-network options close to home, making care more convenient and more affordable. Because when employees get the right care at the right time, everyone benefits. The Alliance. Smarter networks, serious savings. Learn more at the-alliance.org.
Hey, Gene Miller here. The heart of winter is the best time to call my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating and cooling dollars down the road with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from brands like Pella, Anderson, Marvin, and more. Hometown is your local source for wood, vinyl, or fiberglass, plus all of their products are installed by employee carpenters. Stop into their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin and see the Hometown difference. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. HometownWindows.com.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Millions of inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail, so save thousands. Save big on new hot tubs, spas, and saunas, also cold tubs. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show, this weekend only, inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Visit 1-800-SPASale.com.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com. Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
Just after 7 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Wednesday, February 18th. Our top story, what really happened between two Milwaukee Common Council members.
I'm Erik Bilstad, the year of the neighbor.
I'm Debbie Laziga, eastbound 94, backing up from 92nd Street, pretty much all the way to Holly Road. A little bit more coming out of the stadium. On the westbound side, you got backups from 35th Street all the way to Holly Road. 894 westbound is still a bit backed up right past Loomis to 51st Street. Rest of the system so far, so good. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
High of 60 degrees in your Storm Team forecast for today, and skies turning mostly sunny with increased clouds tonight and a low of 35, right now at 50. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, two conflicting stories unfolding regarding an incident between Milwaukee politicians at City Hall.
Alderwoman Jocasta Zamarripa is filing a formal complaint against Alderman Mark Chambers, who she says confronted her in her office on February 11th and that she was, quote, verbally berated and physically intimidated. In response, Chambers says he was not the aggressor in the exchange, which he says began when he was brought into her office to discuss an email regarding pending legislation. Chambers added 4 other unidentified Common Council members were in the room as well. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson declined a request for comment on the exchange. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Governor Evers delivering his 8th and final State of the State address, touting his success for passing bills with bipartisan support, calling on the legislature to keep on the momentum.
We can't afford for lawmakers to lose focus on the future we've been working hard to build together just because it's an election year. So I know the legislature would rather hit the road and take the rest of the year off, but I'm going to ask lawmakers to stick around until our work here is finished.
Property tax relief and school funding among the pending legislation.
State Republicans offering a sharp rebuttal to the governor's address. Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu saying the state's $2.5 billion budget surplus belongs to taxpayers.
As you and your families are struggling to pay for groceries, housing, utilities, the state government has $2.5 billion of your money just sitting here in Madison. We want to give that money back to you.
Leader LeMahieu says Republicans want to return part of that surplus through $1,000 rebate checks.
A petition to recall the mayor of Port Washington comes up short. The city's clerk office says the petition did not have the number of signatures required. The attempt to recall Mayor Ted Neitzke came from residents who opposed the data center project in Port Washington.
Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg due to take the stand today in a trial that could change the way we all use social media. News Nation's Brooke Schaefer.
An attorney representing plaintiffs suing the platform said Mark Zuckerberg's testimony today is more than a legal milestone, and that for the first time, a Meta CEO will have to sit before a jury and explain why the company released a product its own safety teams warned were addictive and harmful to children.
Meta's Instagram and Google's YouTube are both being sued in a case that alleges the platform are addictive and deliberately designed to keep children engaged.
The Supreme Court says it'll start using software to identify justices' conflicts of interest.
The software will scan the stock ticker symbols and other disclosures of the parties in each case to see if any of the justices have potential conflicts. Justices are required to recuse themselves from cases in which they own the stock of one of the parties. The court's latest financial disclosures show Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Samuel Alito are the only justices who own individual stocks. A few weeks ago, Alito recused himself from an environmental case because he owned stock in an oil and gas company that was involved. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Coming up, when is a chicken wing not a chicken wing? The court has decided. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:05.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life.
At Access Legal, we stand up for people worn down by work.
Workers' comp is our sole focus, and our team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation.
Search AXIS Legal today.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Hey, the Lenten season is here. Experience the fabulous all-you-care-to-eat Friday fish fry at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. WTMJ's John Mercure here, one of the best. All other dinners are buy one, get one free every night. Even Saturdays. Savor your favorite steak, the twin lobster tails, the mixed grill of a filet, shrimp and scallops, honey glazed salmon, any entree, ribs, you got it. All buy one, get one free. Desserts also buy one, get one free. Only at the famous Fox and Hounds. Unwind tonight with an old-fashioned. Choose from 20 bourbons, 100 wines. Enjoy in one of the 8 elegant dining rooms with 7 real wood-burning fireplaces. You're going to feel warm and welcomed and cozy. Take your family to the Fox and Hounds this week. Half of your dinners are free. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the Holy Hill Shrine. Serving dinner from 4 p.m. today. Dine early. Tables are open. Serving Saturday lunch from 11 till 2. Google, call, and reserve your Friday haddock Lenten fish fry and free dinner. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Skylight Music Theater presents the Spitfire Grill, a heartfelt Wisconsin-born musical of redemption and second chances. This 25th anniversary production features a 5-piece band. The Spitfire Grill, February 27th through March 15th. Tickets at skylightmusictheater.org.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Brewers owner Mark Attanasio on the competitive balance or lack thereof in baseball. We'll do that in sports at 7:15.
We're hearing from the man who stopped a shooting during a high school hockey game in Rhode Island earlier this week. The shooter killing his ex-wife and son. Michael Black, one of the Good Samaritans who confronted the shooter, says he told his wife to run for cover.
As the gun was extended and my wife went running, and as soon as she cleared my
my sight is when I stood up on the bleachers and I jumped towards the shooter, aiming at the gun. I saw panic on his face, and I'm looking at him, and he's got the gun. There was a pause on my part, and he took the gun.
No children at the rink were injured.
So the court has ruled in a case about chicken wings.
Is a chicken wing without bones still a wing? A judge in Chicago has ruled yes and dismissed a claim filed by a man named Eamon Hallam that Buffalo Wild Wings boneless wings are actually chicken nuggets covered in buffalo sauce. U.S. District Court Judge John Tharp Jr. says despite his best efforts, Hallam didn't drum up enough factual allegations. He's declared his lawsuit had no meat on its bones. Hallam insisted if he'd known the product was actually made from deboned chicken wings, he wouldn't have wasted his money. No comment from Buffalo Wild Wings. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Okay, so a couple good puns in there. I do have one sticking point in the story.
Is a chicken wing without bones still a wing?
What is that sound?
It's when you suck the meat off the bone.
Sounds like something for you to work on, because you got the sound effect thing going.
Who was eating the wings? Lizards? 7:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Time saver traffic at 7:10, Debbie.
Eastbound 94 slowing down right out of the Zoo interchange all the way past 68th Street. The westbound side slowing down from just west of 27th Street past Mitchell Boulevard. We've also got westbound 894 now starting to slow down from Loomis all the way to about 76th Street. The rest of the system still looking pretty good. Just a couple of broken down vehicles out there. Northbound 94 just north of Highway 20. It's off on the right shoulder. Looks like that's a semi there. So just be careful of the big tow trucks. Get out there. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
For TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson with your Storm Team forecast. After some early morning thunder, quickly becoming sunny, windy, and warm for our Wednesday. Temperatures topping out near 60 degrees. Westerly winds, though, could gust as high as 35 miles per hour. We'll look for increasing cloud cover tonight. Lows in the mid-30s. Most of our Thursday spent under a mostly cloudy sky. It'll be mild again. Highs in the upper 40s. We'll look for a chance for some late-day showers and isolated thunder.
Milwaukee right now at 51.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
Yep, that's how it sounded in Madison Tuesday night after the final State of the State given by Governor Evers.
I'm honored to be the 46th governor of the great state of Wisconsin as I deliver my 8th and final State of the State address to you tonight. It's true.
And then they start clapping. Republicans making and you know what? The governor had some fun with that too.
A lot of happy faces over here.
Yep.
All right, good.
So the governor has every year he declares something, right? He declares it the year of the child or year of the kid last year, and otherwise he did that again this year.
I want us to focus on our Wisconsin values of kindness, respect, empathy, compassion. I'm declaring 2026 the year of the neighbor because we could.
The year of the neighbor, what does that mean?
We shovel a driveway or bake a casserole, and we show up for our neighbors.
Or we call the cops when they're playing music too loud. Didn't say that.
Or they don't shovel their
Or,
walk.
hey, they didn't rake their leaves again. Who do I complain to about that? I'm just kidding, the governor.
That's a nice sentiment.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
that's
year
good.
of the neighbor, so that is the end
We
of
can
it.
all do that.
Did talk about funding for public schools.
I'll go 10 toes with any lawmaker about school funding.
Right, so you heard that in the background,
that?
right? So in the background, you can hear this guy yell 10 toes.
I'll go 10 toes with any lawmaker about school funding.
So we hear from that guy again. So the governor brings up that we had a state primary, right? Spring primary was yesterday, and you obviously got to check to find your local election results for that. But he brought up the fact that, hey, you know what? I might be able to help someone win.
By the way, if anybody's running that wants advice from someone who won 5 statewide elections, right here.
Scoreboard? Was that a scoreboard?
Who is that?
So this was a fan, not a heckler.
No, it was a fan.
By the way, if anybody's running that wants advice from someone who won 5 statewide elections, right here.
So the governor also...
Not your turn, sir.
You had talked yesterday about the tax relief package that GOP have been working on and trying to get on the same page in the GOP leadership, and Voss saying, yeah, we're going to meet again with Governor Evers today to talk through that. He kind of threw water on that a little bit in the leadership. Voss afterwards was like, hey, thought we were making progress on this. So there's still a rub on some of their future conversations as to how they're going to do their business. And of course, it ended with the music. Marching band noise comes out. I thought you'd appreciate this because they have to end, right? They have to finish. So listen to how it finishes because they have to actually get out of session.
The representative from the 31st District.
Nope.
No. Right, you need a motion to adjourn here.
So
Representative from the 31st has moved that the joint.
it goes on. It goes on and
We
on.
gotta close the session.
They can't. So
Band.
can't listen to the band.
And the joint convention shall arise.
Real James Imaging Systems clients. You've heard them right here on the radio for years. For instance, Chris Willems, office manager with Previan Law Firm.
I like the fact that the company is local and I can always get a hold of my representative who I have on speed dial or I have a cell phone.
Then there's James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark, who oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors.
If I do need service, they're here almost within 4 hours every time. I've never had an issue where I'm like, where is that guy?
James Imaging Systems business technology client Lori Salzman, Vice President of Enterprise Services at Junior Achievement of Wisconsin.
I've never met an organization that is so responsive to make sure that we are up and running all the time for us to be more efficient and allow us to focus more on the work that we do for helping young people.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. To learn more, visit jamesimaging.com.
The family-owned Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford is hiring line cooks, dishwashers, and third-shift cleaners. You'll make real money in a fun, busy atmosphere. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today and start next week. Visit MineShaftRestaurant.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Brewers squad workouts underway in Arizona, and there's always concern for fans to start the year. There's hope, but also worry, whether it's the player is going to be able to perform again or the money that's being spent or not spent.
As the Brewers began their first full squad workout on Tuesday in Maryville, principal owner Mark Atanasio was addressing the media. Among the topics, competitive balance and potentially labor strife.
Whatever the system is, however it looks like the cards are stacked against us, we're going to compete. We've done that for 21 years. In baseball, we're trying to have competitive balance, so the fans can come out and have hope for full 30 teams.
But Ananasio also warns, just because there could be a salary cap doesn't mean the game is suddenly balanced.
Everybody talks about the Dodgers' payroll. Whatever we can have in players, they got more. Whatever guys Matt can hire, and he hires the best and the brightest, they have more.
Live from Phoenix, I'm Dominic Cotroneo, WTMJ.
Wisconsin's Jordan Stoltz races again tomorrow at the Olympics. The 1,500-meter speed skate struck gold twice already, of course, at these games, so going for 3 for 3. Also on the oval, Marquette University graduate Emery Lehman on the men's team pursuit, claiming silver for the U.S. Lehman, a guest once here on Wisconsin's Morning News. Probably thought a lot about that. Men's hockey, Team USA in the quarterfinals game against Sweden today. Puck drops at 2:10 this afternoon.
College basketball, Badgers beat Ohio State 86-69. Badger Sports Update, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Marquette hosts the red-hot Red Storm of St. John's at 5 serve tonight. You can hear it on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. And Thanels' tickets for the show at the Riverside on March 27th go on sale today.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Let's talk about shoes for a moment, if you will. Vince Vitrano here for my friends Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Just got a fascinating update from Inspired Closets on all the things they can do just with your shoes. Now, if you're the type, you love shoes, brings you joy when you look at them, don't hide them. Sounds like you're a good candidate for the shoe shrine or a boutique display with integrated lighting. If you want your shoes just out of the front hall and better organized, or your kids' shoes, might be looking at these slanted shelving or vertical storage options. Can't go wrong anyway. The experts at Inspired Closets will work with you. They'll start by listening to you, and they'll help you figure out what's right, what's going to work best in your home. Book a no-obligation appointment now, or stop out at the showroom right near Gerke's Corners in Waukesha. Tell them Vinny sent you. Inspired Days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests. Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at AmazonBusiness.com.
Time saver traffic at 7:21. Checking in with Debbie Lonzica.
Well, we've got some delays with the crash now. 894 eastbound right at Loomis. It is off on the left shoulder, so watch out for a little bit of bunching past that scene. The westbound side, seeing backups from the Mitchell interchange past that point to about 76th Street. On eastbound 94, we've got delays coming out of the Barker Road area all the way past Calhoun. Back on the brakes from 92nd Street all the way to Hawley Road. And then again, coming out of the Stadium interchange, westbound's backed up from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating. The rain is done. Sunny, windy, and warmer today. A high of 60. Tonight, more clouds, a low of 35. Thursday, chance for rain, maybe a thunder shower, and a high of 48 tomorrow.
.22 Wisconsin's Morning News. Do social media companies deliberately target children with the intent to create addiction, and thus should they be held liable for negative consequences that may arise? This is the heart of the question before a jury in Los Angeles. And the trial is ongoing today. Meta CEO, Meta the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, Mark Zuckerberg is set to take the stand and testify.
Happening today.
ABC News technology reporter Mike Dubusky joins us live this morning. Morning, Mike.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, so I want to get to Zuckerberg in a moment, but Meta is not the only company named in this lawsuit. So from whom have we heard already?
Yeah, YouTube is the other social media company that is named in this trial that is actually going to trial. Of course, this lawsuit was brought by a 20-year-old woman named Kaylee, or identified as Kaylee, and her mother, alleging that she was exposed to this addictive design baked into social media platforms as a child. Now, we already heard from TikTok and Snapchat, which decided to settle with the plaintiffs before this case went to trial. So we don't know the terms of that settlement, but basically the lawsuit kind of, painted with a broad brush, right? They targeted a variety of different social media companies here. We've already heard from YouTube's lawyers, which basically made the argument that they shouldn't be grouped in with the likes of, Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat. They're primarily a video streaming platform, less so a social media platform. That was kind of their argument. And then last week we heard from Adam Mosseri, who is the head of Instagram. Later today, we're going to hear from his boss, Mark Zuckerberg.
So we've seen Zuckerberg testify before Congress before. He's been under oath talking about his company's practices. How is this different?
This is the first time he'll be in a courtroom testifying before a jury of his peers. It marks a pretty significant moment as the country grapples with what to do about younger users as it applies to social media. In fact, back during one of Mark Zuckerberg's Capitol Hill hearings in 2024, he turned around to parents who had attended that hearing who'd lost children to suicide or accidental harm linked to online trends on social media, and he apologized. It was one of the kind of starkest moments we've seen from Mark Zuckerberg recently, and it will be interesting to see whether something like that is echoed in today's testimony. Now, this is all behind closed doors. It's not video streamed or anything like that, so we'll have to wait until a little bit later today to get any insight into exactly what happens. Yeah, right? Of all things, you'd think the technology guys. But anyway, but yes, this is, we are expecting him to kind of make the argument that, social media is certainly a piece of the teen mental health crisis, and that his company has taken steps to address their role in, their company's effect on teen mental health. But it's just one piece of a larger puzzle, right? That there are other factors here. This is something we heard from Mosseri last week. And you can also expect him to talk about Section 230, right? Which is the protection that was outlined in the 1996 Communications Decency Act that says, hey, social media platforms, or platforms in general, online platforms, are protected from the content that gets published on them, right? If I post, Vince likes pineapple on pizza on Facebook, you can sue me, but you can't sue Facebook. That's what Section 230, right? But that's the idea. Right. I would never, of course, do that. But that's the idea behind Section 230, and it's something that all these social media companies have pointed to as a protection, right? This is enshrined in our law. If these trials that are, set to get underway in the next year or so do anything to damage that protection or damage that argument that they are protected by this law, well, that would really reshape how social media does its business.
Okay, so does that explain why he's even doing this? Because we were wondering, if we saw some of these other social media companies settle, Mike, then why wouldn't these guys just do the same thing? Are they just trying to set their own precedent?
Possibly. I mean, they could look at this and say, hey, we have a good argument here, right? Like, that could be their strategy. Again, we don't know the terms of the settlement that TikTok and Snapchat reached. Those are smaller companies than Meta as well. So maybe they just don't have the lawyers, but it was something to that effect. But that's kind of the idea. And it's also interesting to see, YouTube and Meta's differences in the arguments that they're making, just because they are such different companies. It's a potential that they are trying to set their own precedent to try and, protect themselves from litigation like this in the future. And they would be facing litigation like this in the future. The way California thinks about this, guys, is that this is the first of several bellwether trials. They've basically grouped together about 1,500 broadly similar social media cases and said, hey, juries down the line, juries that are set to go to trial later this year, look at what we're doing now. Look at this trial. Look at the next couple that we're going to try. Use some of this evidence. Use some of this testimony to inform your own rulings down the line. So this, has the potential to set some real precedent here.
Mike Dubosky, ABC News technology reporter, live with us this morning. Thank you, Mike.
Of course, guys. Take care.
And Zuckerberg set to take the stand, I think this morning yet, E?
Right? Yep. And remember, that's
LA
West
time,
Coast.
right? So definitely something to watch. 7:27 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Do news about your money now. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was up about 32 points to 49,533. The NASDAQ closed at 22,578, also up 32 points. and the S&P 500 climbed just 7 to 68.43. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, our weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. Sponsored by the original knowledge broker, R&R Insurance. Joining me today, Jeff Salazinski, Executive Vice President of Insurance Operations. 2026 is underway, Jeff. Would love some insight into what has your attention related to the year ahead.
Thank you, Vince. Great to be here. Early in the year is a great time to talk about trends and issues and how 2026 looks to be shaping up.
Jeff, we discussed broker mergers and acquisitions and broker litigation last time around. What's going on there?
Here locally and nationally, private equity brokers are raiding other insurance brokers for talent, clients, and their associated revenue. These moves have created a wave of litigation, temporary restraining orders, court proceedings, and a heck of a lot of confusion if you're one of the clients involved. Also, the M&A continues, and we now have several local agencies that have been sold twice in just the last few years.
Broker-on-broker litigation, Jeff, that sounds expensive and probably is a distraction, right, for insurance buyers?
100%, Vince. Broker litigation and the business practices that generated the litigation do nothing to add value to insurance buyers in today's market. I don't know a business owner who's interested in getting ensnared in that type of mess.
So how is R&R Insurance attacking 2026?
The R&R business model is truly unique. M&A always brings a ton of change, most of it directed at the shareholders, not the clients. R&R Insurance represents 50 years with the same name on the door, consistent investment in the business and our employees, and always being there for our clients.
So why should a business work with R&R Insurance?
If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience, we'd love to sit down and talk to you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Traffic is sponsored by Rejuvenix Arthritis Pain Clinics. Go to rejuvenix.com for an appointment.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Miss any part of the show? Get the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast sent directly to you. Text Vince to the WTMJ Talk and Text line.
Coming up on 7:30, today's high 60 degrees in your Storm Team forecast. Low down to 35 tonight. Milwaukee currently at 50.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Several skiers still missing in an avalanche in Northern California, northwest of Lake Tahoe. Ethan Green keeping track of the response from several states away. He heads the Colorado Avalanche Information Center.
They've really got this fairly complicated wilderness scenario, night, winter storm, avalanche danger, and they need to manage all of those risks.
Search teams have managed to rescue 6 people. The billionaire founder of the company behind Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works, Les Wexner, faces a congressional deposition today over his longstanding connections to Jeffrey Epstein. Wexner, a longtime friend. Also facing questions, Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook. He is testifying today in a lawsuit in Los Angeles brought by a 20-year-old who says social media platforms are designed to get kids addicted. And at the Olympics in Italy, Michaela Schifrin has just won gold in the women's slalom. This is ABC News.
Eastbound 894, right about at Loomis, we do have a crash on the left shoulder, so watch out for those delays coming in from 92nd Street all the way to that point. The westbound side, got backups out of the Mitchell interchange all the way past the accident scene. We've also got an issue on 94 heading, actually 175 southbound to eastbound in the stadium interchange. We've got some debris in the roadway, so they may have to close off some lanes. Delays eastbound from just before 84th Street to Holly Road. Westbound's backed up from just about 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Rain has come to an end for this morning. Skies will turn mostly sunny with a high of 60. Low down to 35 tonight. Milwaukee temp at 51. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Governor Tony Evers declaring 2026 the Year of the Neighbor in his final State of the State address.
Because we all could use a good neighbor, and we could all be better neighbors. And we're going to spend the next year celebrating the neighbors who make Wisconsin a great place it is to call whole.
The governor also touting what he calls bipartisan achievements.
Giving working families a little more breathing room in their household budgets is something we've worked on together over the last 7 years. I'm hoping we can continue building on those efforts this session, including reaching bipartisan agreement on a plan to get meaningful resources to our K-12 schools and provide property tax relief at the same time.
Governor did take his shot at Republican legislators who plan to wrap up their work later this month. He wants them to remain in session.
Governor also sounded lukewarm at a tax relief package that had been proposed by GOP leadership. State Republicans reacting. Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu warned that he believes what would happen under Democratic control.
Democrats were in charge of Madison. Wisconsin would be a very different place. Jobs would flee to other states after they repeal the manufacturers and agricultural tax credit. Our increasingly mobile workforce would leave for states with lower income tax rates. And popular reforms like voter ID and the REINS Act would have been repealed long time ago.
LeMahieu says the Republican policies are responsible for the state's economic strength.
A Milwaukee alderwoman has now filed a formal complaint against a fellow alderperson after an incident between the two.
Alderwoman Jocasta Zamarripa claims she was confronted in her office by Alderman Mark Chambers February 11th before being yelled at over an unknown matter. In a statement, Zamarripa claims she, quote, felt trapped and unable to safely exit, and that multiple witnesses heard the exchange. Chambers, in a post on X, acknowledged an exchange occurred, but disputed that anyone was in harm's way. Zamarripa is also requesting a full investigation under the City of Milwaukee's Ethics Code. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
MPS leaders are looking for solutions after a recent audit revealed a budget deficit of nearly $50 million. Budget Director Nick Sinner.
As a part of our review, we are doing a deep dive into every single contract and every single encumbrance and looking to look where we can reduce and eliminate obligations that have not already been expended.
The school district also plans to freeze hiring for non-classroom positions, study transportation costs, and make cuts in service staffing.
This news report brought to you by J&J Contractors. Visit jjcontractorsllc.com.
Dreaming of a home renovation? J&J Contractors has been turning houses into dreams for over 40 years. From stunning kitchens and luxurious bathrooms to finished lower levels, they handle complete renovations that elevate your space. And don't forget about the outside. J&J Contractors specialize in roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Schedule your free consultation today. Just Google J&J Contractors or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed. Mamma mia! Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Car Edge. The stress of car buying is finally a thing of the past. Car Edge negotiates with local dealerships for you, keeping your personal info private. With an average of 20-plus years of dealership experience, Car Edge experts know every trick in the book, saving you time and money. No sales calls, no wasted hours playing games at a dealership, just the best deal on the car you want. WTMJ fans get 20% off. Call 414-667-7413 or visit caredge.com/WTMJ for a free no-obligation consultation today.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:37.
So Jordan Stoltz's dad says his Olympic delivery at the Village for his son kind of felt like a real shady deal going down. We'll hear from him in sports coming up at 7:45.
Well, we knew it was going to be good.
Best year in 10 years, for sure. Best year in 10 years, yeah, absolutely. 2 feet of ice and 50 degrees. I mean, it's insane.
As business owner Brad up there in Lake Winnebago on the surgeon spearing season, which got underway on Saturday, he said it was going to be great because the Ice was thick and the weather was nice.
Tom Moronic from the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources confirming as much with Wisconsin's Midday News.
Water clarity is a big part of a successful opening weekend, as well as people being able to access all the locations. And this year, everything kind of lined up, and we had not only good water clarity, but pretty darn good access on the Lake Winnebago and the Upriver Lakes.
So the season can run for up to 16 days, but if it's really good, sometimes you can hit the harvest caps that the DNR sets before that, and it looks like we're on the precipice of that. So here's what the DNR said. Harvest caps have already been reached for adult female sturgeon in the upriver lakes. Do you know, I mean, you were out there. Do you know when you're looking through your hole in the ice if it's a male or a female before you drop your spear?
If you're asking if I would know, absolutely not.
That's a no.
Now, an experienced
spearers
may be able to pick up on that.
Well, either way, would not come as a surprise if the 16-day season ends short of 16. 7:35 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
MW Marine.
Fishermen, tired of winter? Come in from the cold at MW Marine this Saturday, starting at 11 a.m. for a free fishing seminar. Meet Captain Doug Klett, Mercury Pro, as he breaks down springtime muskies on Lake Geneva, where to find them and how to get them to bite. Then check out boats, upgrades, and accessories to get your rig ready for the season. It's free and no reservations required. MW Marine.
You've spent a lifetime taking care of others. Now it's your turn to enjoy life your way. At Capri Communities, they offer vibrant senior living where neighbors become friends, and each day brings something to smile about.
Well, it's breakfast with the boys, and then bingo is at 3 in the afternoon. I lost that super lady I lived with for 60 years, but have found a home and doing well. The accommodations, the facilities, it's been a pleasure.
Find your perfect new home at capricommunities.com.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Axis Legal. I see firsthand how hard Wisconsin workers push themselves, from the construction crews on the roads that I monitor every day to the countless jobs that strain the body over time. For many, that wear and tear turns into real pain. My friends at Axis Legal understand what you're going through and they want to help. Their team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers, and they'll fight for the benefits you're entitled to as well. Worn down by work? Contact Axis Legal for a risk-free consultation. That's AXIS Legal.
So, Alex, why don't you tell us about Lion's Tail?
We've been brewing for 10 years, and now we're busy expanding into Milwaukee, trying to get on every shelf of every store and on tap at every restaurant.
How has Horicon Bank been a part of your story?
Horicon Bank understands the needs of small businesses versus working with a big bank. Horicon, they're much like a small business, just like we are. I know most of the people on that team. It's nice working with someone that understands your business.
About 19 minutes before 8 o'clock, we moved the rain out, Deb, so that should make things a little easier for you.
Yeah, at least a little bit. We do have volume building up and a couple of issues here and there. We've got, first of all, eastbound 894, right about at Loomis, we have a crash that is off on the left shoulder, so watch out for that. For the most part, we got our usual delays, though, from 92nd Street to that point. Westbound 894 is slowing down from just north of Grange all the way through the Mitchell, all the way to, wow, the delays continue all the way past almost to 68th Street. Northbound 4394 backing up right from the Mitchell interchange past Oklahoma Avenue. And then we got delays from southbound 43 from just before Hampton all the way down to about Locust. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
From TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson with your Storm Team forecast. After some early morning thunder, quickly becoming sunny, windy, and warm for our Wednesday. Temperatures topping out near 60 degrees. Westerly winds, though, could gust as high as 35 miles per hour. We'll look for increasing cloud cover tonight, lows in the mid-30s. Most of our Thursday spent under a mostly cloudy sky. It'll be mild again, highs in the upper 40s. We'll look for a chance for some late-day showers and isolated thunder.
Milwaukee at 51.
You wonder if you're going to keep seeing changes when it comes to fast food. Fast food chain Wendy's now says it's going to shutter 5 to 6% of its stores across the country. in the next 6 months or so. The interim CEO made that announcement to those investing on the earnings call. So they got about nearly 6,000 locations. There's about 60 in Wisconsin. At this point, we don't know which ones are going to shut down. Wendy's first announced closures in November. He says some restaurants are a drag from a franchisee financial performance perspective. A drag is the word he used.
And that's not why you buy into a franchise.
No. The goal is to address and fix those restaurants. So as of now, we don't know which ones are going to shut down in Wisconsin. But always very interested to see how this goes, because it does seem like there's been a little bit of a shift in how consumers are getting this type of food, right? Wouldn't you say so?
Well, with more sort of mid, not your typical burgers and fries places, but your Qdobas and,
right.
sandwich shops, right? Cousins, of course, is the big in our area, but Jimmy John's coming into that, Jersey Mike's, all of these others. So like other sort of equally fast food, but different
Right.
types of food options.
So it's kind of considered a reset. This year, we will prioritize meaningful innovation across both burgers and chicken.
What does that mean? Meaningful information in burgers.
Focusing on launches that restaurants can execute with excellence while reinforcing our quality positioning. So that giving restaurants a chance to succeed. I mean, it might be what equipment they have, what they're actually serving.
Okay, yeah.
On a positive note, Wendy said that the new chicken tenders and the upgraded sauce lineup has resonated well with customers.
Upgraded sauce. There you go.
So they got that going. That has boosted satisfaction.
That part was not written by the marketing professional of the earlier statement who crafted that gobbledygook, whatever that means.
Well, we'll
from
see.
a 50,000-foot view, Eric, we want to engage stakeholders and
innovation
Right, yeah.
and profitable growth of the burger.
744 Sports up next.
We demand a lot of our shoulders and hands, our hips and knees, our backs and feet. They do life's heavy lifting, so we owe them the greatest attention in return. The Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network provides expert orthopedic and spine care to help you move, lift, turn, and reach with the most possible ease. Whether you have a sports-related injury or a nagging condition that just won't go away, excellence should always be an option. So we make our care available in nearby locations and offer same-day ortho and spine appointments when relief can't wait. It's how to recover quicker, prevent small concerns from becoming big ones, and solve complex issues with the expertise you can only get with academic medicine. We're given just one body, so let's tend to it, check in on it. Let's give it the greatest of care, because when it's tuned up and injury-free, we can always be pushing ahead. To learn more about our nationally recognized orthopedic and spine care, visit freighter.com/ortho.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
As the Brewers get to work in Arizona, first broadcast here on Saturday from spring training, the owner, Mark Attanasio, talking competitive balance, labor strife potentially. He does say the Brewers will compete. He says they're looking for balance, of course, but he also, I thought this was interesting from Attanasio, who addressed the media on Tuesday. He said, hey, look, even if there ends up being some kind of salary cap, the Dodgers are always going to be the Dodgers. So they're always going to be the ones to beat because they just are always going to be bigger, better, larger, more money. Like, it's just kind of the way it is. Not accepting that, but he's just saying, look, it's not like all of a sudden the Dodgers are going to be in fifth place and that type of thing. Also had this to say about Caleb Durbin. Obviously, that was a shocker of a trade for a lot of people. The third baseman did well as a rookie. And now he's gone with the Red Sox. Attanasio explained who the first person to call him was.
The first call I got when this got announced, by the way, was from Commissioner Alan H. Budson. What are they telling you? So, yeah, that's a really hard decision. The easy decision is to just go as she goes, right?
Yeah, and let the canoe float down the center of the river. You can't do that. You got to actually make moves to stay competitive. That's the idea behind Matt Arnold. By the way, not good for the union as they figure out this collective bargaining agreement. The CBA expires in December, and they just lost their union head. He resigned because he's under investigation by the feds for financial improprieties.
Good reason to resign.
Also, apparently had an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law who works for the union.
Another good reason.
And not good. You got a leadership vacuum at the top of the union when negotiations are really going to start heating up on a CBA. Not good.
Do we need to give out spoiler alerts or no?
Because we got a big one that's going to be in your timeline and on your news feeds here.
Yes. So if you don't want to know what happens with Michaela Schifrin, U.S. women's downhill skier, one of the greatest ever of all time in that sport, but over the last 8 years has not medaled. She was skating for her last chance here at these games in the Alpine Slalom. So if you don't want to know, there's your warning. Gold, baby!
There it is.
She got it done. Her immaculate first run in the event propelled her to her first Olympic medal in 8 years, and it is gold. Men's hockey. Team USA in the quarterfinal game against Sweden. Puck drops at 2:10 this afternoon. Marquette University grad Emery Lehman on the men's pursuit team in speed skating claimed silver.
There you go.
For the U.S.
All right.
Wisconsin's Jordan Stoltz skates for his third gold in a row tomorrow, 1,500 meter, and hopefully he's got enough steak. So that's apparently his fuel of choice. And his father, Dirk Stoltz, who's there at the games, has been bringing Jordan steaks that apparently they must cook up for you at the Olympic Village during the games. So Dad happens to be a former Washington County Sheriff's deputy, admits the whole thing looked real shady.
Yeah, we found where the Olympic Village is, and then Mark ends up showing up on a bike with a backpack, and I get out of the car with a package, and looks like a drug deal going down on the street, and we give each other a hug, and he goes on his way. So that's how he's getting his steaks.
You mentioned Mark Yanihara, Jordan's skate guy. I guess he puts him in the backpack, takes him back to the village where they must take care of if you want your own stuff cooked. I love that. Former cop. This looks shady to me. Lori Nickel, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, sent me that interview that she did with Jordan's dad at the games. She's on her way back stateside and will join us to preview the race tomorrow.
College basketball, Marquette hosts St. John's at Fiserv tonight on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Badgers fall to Ohio State 86-69. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Well, our homes need to be ready for just about anything in Wisconsin year-round. That's why Pella focuses on quality and durability in everything they do. The right windows and doors can vastly improve your home's comfort, efficiency, and overall style. And with Pella, you'll get expert recommendations designed around your home, your needs, and your budget. Don't miss out on 0% financing for up to 4 years. It ends on February 28th. Visit PellaWI.com today.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional? Worried about the direction of our economy? About making your money last?
Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement.
We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC. Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Time saver traffic at 7:51. Debbie.
We have an accident on 894 eastbound at Loomis, the left shoulder there, so watch out for that. Backups are coming in from just about 84th Street all the way to that scene. On the westbound side, we got backups all the way back into the Mitchell interchange, and those stretch all the way to to 68th Street. Southbound on the bypass, got some delays from about Cleveland Avenue all the way down to Beloit Road. We've also got northbound 4394 slowing down out of the Mitchell up and around the Plainfield curve, past Oklahoma Avenue, and again heading onto the high-rise bridge. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Becoming sunny, windy, warm today, a high of 60. Tonight, more clouds, a low of 35. Thursday, chance for thunder showers tomorrow, a high of 48. Friday, a chance for a rain-snow mix, and a high of just 40. 30s this weekend. 7:52.
Idea Man.
Maybe there's a chance that she will see what she really means to me. And maybe not.
Innovator.
If you're going to do that, you probably got to win gold. If you have any,
and Packers Hall of Famer.
If you're gonna go out, put yourself out there, you better win the whole damn thing, not take third place.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Your forecast was brought to you by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Fresh off his recent Wisconsin's Morning News Standout of the Year award,
the Soties.
Former Green Bay Packers president Mark Murphy was just named to the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2026. That Tausch, and we have the Packers announcing that special teams coordinator and assistant head coach Rich Bisaccia is stepping down.
Yeah, I think Mark Murphy did a great job leading the Green Bay Packers, and the business side of it has never been better, and obviously a lot of success. But there'll be a lot of Packer fans that are saying just fell a little bit short, and that's the tough part about that gig. As far as Rich Bisaccia goes, by all accounts, he's a good dude. He's someone that the coaches and the players have a lot of respect for. He's been in the NFL for a long time. But, my point all offseason has been, we want urgency. And Rich has been there for 4 seasons. And I know it's not fair to put everything at the foot of the coach or the coordinator, but our special teams have just not been good enough. So I was kind of surprised that it took this long to make some type of move. I know the assistant special teams coach left for Cleveland, and I guess I just wonder, why did we wait 38 days if this was going to be the case? So there's probably a lot to this story, and I know Jason Wilde, my old partner on our show, I was very intrigued by the wording, and Vinny, I'm sure, and Eric, you guys as news people always are mincing all the words and trying to figure out what is really happening. It feels like there's more to this story, and I'll be curious if Rich Bisaccia if he's not retired, if he ends up going back in, what and how this whole scenario unfolded is going to be really interesting.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up because that is fascinating.
The wording in the official release from the Packers said he is stepping down.
So there's that, but then is this an attractive job, Tausch? Is there someone you can lure to be like assistant head coach / special teams person or something like that?
Absolutely. I mean, and I'm not being biased here. It's the Green Bay blanket Packers, man. Yeah. So when you get that along with, I think most people look at this team as championship ready. Not there yet, but they are right there and can be in the mix. And this is one of those scenarios where you're buying low. You're going in there, and the expectations, you need to turn things around, but our units have been, it's just as far as grading out, it's not been good. So if you can make some incremental growth and get this thing where we're middle of the pack with our special teams, you're going to be looked at as like some transformative, oh my God, I can't believe how well whomever, insert name here, is done. So the expectations are going to be, it's not as bad as it was last year. Now, it could get worse, I guess. I certainly hope that's not the case. But to me, anytime you're going into a job and if somebody gets fired or is let go or steps down, there's usually some room for some growth. And I think the Green Bay Packers, if they're continuing to put some resources into their special teams and you get an assistant head coach job out of it, sure, the pay is pretty good. You have a great opportunity to make a big move and help a team get to that next step, get to that next level of trying to win a championship.
Where do you see that growth as possible in special teams in general, Mark? Like, can you come in and innovate? Are there new things you can do, or is kicking, returning? You need a guy who's just a better motivator and brings a greater attention to detail.
The attention to detail for sure. And can you innovate? Absolutely. just with the kickoff alone, and I know they keep changing it, but having some different ideas on, moving the football around, not just, kicking it out of the end zone. But yeah, I start and finish with getting a return guy. Get somebody in there. And I know I've pounded this on my show, and I think even on our hit, the concept that the Seattle Seahawks scored, I think, 10 touchdowns on defense or special teams. We didn't have any. And part of it is their return guy was really good. Their blocking schemes obviously worked. So having a little bit of innovation, but yeah, I mean, this still comes down to players. Can your kicker make a kick in a playoff game? Seattle's kicker didn't miss. Our kicker missed a bunch in the game we got knocked out against the Bears. So yeah, coaches can be great, but it comes down to, do I have a guy that I trust that can do it? But big plays and having at least some semblance of hope. We were just hoping that Romeo Doubs would catch the ball and not get hurt when we're talking about returning.
Who was the MVP of Super Bowl 31? It wasn't Brett Favre.
Is the kick returner.
Howard, someone who was picked up and was barely made the football team, and then the impact on winning a championship. And by the way, that might be the last time our special teams were ranked I think they were number 1 that season. Is it a coincidence that we won a world championship that year? I think not.
7:58. Thanks, Mark.
Good times.
Yeah.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The Village Board in Menominee Falls has approved incentives for Milwaukee Tool's planned expansion. The tool maker is planning a $205 million project that includes new buildings and remodeling existing offices. The Hampton Inn and Suites near State Fair Park sold for $9.1 million. The 101-room hotel was sold by an affiliate of Stand Rock Hospitality in Wisconsin Dells. The deal closed February 11th. The Oak Creek Common Council has approved a conditional use permit to revive a delayed 36-unit condo project. The developer is again proposing 10 townhome-style buildings. Construction on the Royal Estates condominiums could begin this year. I'm David Schuyler for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
3 generations ago, it was about doing one thing and doing it right.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, floors that had to last because our name, Adair, was on them. Over time, homeowners asked us to do more. Kitchens, bathrooms, full remodels. And so our name changed to Adair Floors and Remodeling.
But flooring has always been the foundation, literally.
And it's something the next generation already understands.
Hi, I'm Ava. Hi, I'm Quinn. My dad does floors.
From hardwood and luxury vinyl plank to tile and carpet, we handle selection, layout, and professional installation.
And because we also remodel homes, we know how flooring works with everything else. Transitions, finishes, and long-term durability.
When you hire Adair, you're getting experience you can stand on and people who will be here for decades to come.
Call my dad. Bye-bye.
Adair Floors and Remodeling. Built on flooring, trusted for remodels. 3 generations, 1 standard. Call us at 414-761-3660 for your free flooring estimate.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just after 8 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Wednesday, February 18th, our top story. Conflicting stories between 2 Common Council members.
I'm Erik Bilstad, the year of the neighbor.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We do still have this accident, 894 eastbound at Loomis, off on the left shoulder, so watch out for that. A few broken down vehicles along the bypass heading southbound on 894. Just heads up with that. Northbound, delays coming out of the Highway 100 area through the Hale all the way up to National. On eastbound 94, we've got backups from Highway 16 to Highway F, and then again all the way past Calhoun. Back on the brakes from 84th Street all the way to Hawley Road, and again out at the Stadium interchange to about 35th Street. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today brings us to a high of 60 degrees. We should see sunshine. In fact, already getting it now as The wet roads start to see some evaporation. Rain is out of the way for today. Tonight, a low of 35 under increasing clouds, and our temperature already at 52. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we have conflicting stories emerging regarding an incident between two Milwaukee politicians at City Hall.
Alderwoman Jocasta Zamaripa is filing a formal complaint against Alderman Mark Chambers, who she says confronted her in her office on February 11th and that she was, quote, verbally berated and physically intimidated. In response, Chambers says he was not the aggressor in the exchange, which he says began when he was brought into her office to discuss an email regarding pending legislation. Chambers added 4 other unidentified Common Council members were in the room as well. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson declined a request for comment on the exchange. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Governor Evers declaring 2026 the year of the neighbor during his final State of the State address. He also is calling on the legislature to finish work on pending legislation, including nonpartisan redistricting and correction systems reform, plus is looking for property tax, a bill that everyone can agree on. Now, state Republicans say more can be done for Wisconsin families following that address. Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu.
The first proposal extends Medicaid eligibility for postpartum mothers from 60 days to a full year after giving birth. The second ensures insurance coverage for supplemental breast cancer screenings for women with heightened cancer risk. That's on top of the $7.8 billion increase for state budget provided our healthcare system, including support for hospitals, long-term care, and mental health facilities.
LeMahieu says the measures combined with tax cuts and investments should be top priorities. During his speech, the governor was lukewarm about the recent tax cut proposal between Democrats and Republicans.
Again with the finances at Milwaukee Public Schools, now facing a $46 million budget deficit revealed by a recent audit. MPS Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casalius says one way they're making up the difference is by reviewing staff contracts at a finance committee meeting Tuesday night.
I've been saying all along that we need to dig into our contracts and make sure that we are looking at our obligations in our contracts. Particularly, I was interested mostly because of cost savings and what we could do in terms of limiting contracts. But recently, we wanted to make sure that we were taking a deeper dive. So our team is looking into all of our contracts.
MPS plans to pay $23 million this year and next to make up that difference.
To Arizona, the search for Nancy Guthrie, a new effort to locate the missing 84-year-old through possible signals from her pacemaker and inquiries at gun stores and at a Walmart. ABC's Aaron Katersky's in Tucson.
Detectives are going to gun stores here in Tucson asking about suspicious customers and sales of a particular gun and the holster that looks like the one the man wore on his hip. They're also trying to identify the brand of...
They were found using a tarp as a makeshift shelter. 9 others this morning still missing. News Nation's Nick Smith.
The skiers are in a backcountry area of Northern California. Were on their way back to a trailhead when the avalanche struck just before noon local time Tuesday. First responders were alerted by emergency beacons the group was carrying and have been able to communicate with some of them. But these rescuers are facing extreme conditions trying to reach the remote site, battling feet of snow, strong winds which are limiting visibility, causing whiteout conditions and the potential for more avalanches.
Area where the avalanche occurred has gotten some 30 inches of snow in just the last 24 hours.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
Coming up, who's new for the crew?
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
Real James Imaging Systems clients. You've heard them right here on the radio for years. For instance, Chris Willems, office manager with Previan Law Firm.
I like the fact that the company is local and I can always get a hold of my representative who I have on speed dial or I have a cell phone.
Then there's James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark, who oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors.
If I do need service, they're here almost within 4 hours every time. I've never had an issue where I'm like, where is that guy?
James Imaging Systems business technology client Lori Salzman, Vice President of Enterprise Services at Junior Achievement of Wisconsin.
I've never met an organization that is so responsive to make sure that we are up and running all the time for us to be more efficient and allow us to focus more on the work that we do for helping young people.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. To learn more, visit jamesimaging.com.
Experience the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club's Friday All You Care to Eat Lenten Fish Fry, one of the best. It's delicious. The magnificent Sunday brunch is all you care to eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Google, call, reserve today. The Fox and Hounds.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
2 people killed, 3 more hurt during that shooting at a high school hockey game on Monday. This was in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. We're learning a lot more about that. In fact, during the attack, bystander Michael Black intervened. He stopped the shooter from continuing to fire.
I saw the shooter with the gun pointing down. I believe it was with an elderly lady. I think it was the mother-in-law. And as I saw the angle, I took a step up on the seat and I dove with the focus of going after the gun.
Black said the shooter then took a second gun out of their pocket and turned it on themselves. The incident being described as domestic in nature by officials, as the victims were members of the suspect's family and a family friend.
Lots of musicians have been unveiled this week heading to Wisconsin State Fair. We got another one announced today, a rap superstar. That's right. Ooh, it's going to be hot at the State Fair. 3-time Grammy winner Nelly playing the Bank 5-9 main stage Friday, August 7th.
I feared for a second we weren't going to let it drop. All right, I'm sorry. Continue.
Tickets? No, it's fine. Tickets go on sale Friday for the August 7th show from Nelly.
News is sponsored by Appliance Gallery, your Milwaukee luxury appliance store, gallerywi.com.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Appliance Gallery, right on Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee. Their gorgeous showroom is the most up-to-date in our state, featuring luxury brands like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Miele, Fisher & Paykel, and more. They'll work right with your contractor or designer and make the process seamless. They even offer brands where you can choose from custom colors. As a small family-owned company with one location, they deliver impeccable service with a personal touch. Visit ApplianceGalleryWY.com or stop in today.
Fishermen, tired of winter? Come in from the cold at MW Marine this Saturday, starting at 11 a.m. for a free fishing seminar. Meet Captain Doug Klett, Mercury Pro, as he breaks down springtime muskies on Lake Geneva, where to find them and how to get them to bite. Then check out boats, upgrades, and accessories to get your rig ready for the season. It's free and no reservations required. MW Marine.
Hey everybody, Debbie Loziga here for Milwaukee Weight Loss. This Valentine's month, Milwaukee Weight Loss is sharing the love with $300 off their Valentine's sale now through February 28th only. It's the perfect time to fall in love with the results-getting Milwaukee Weight Loss program. They know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no counting points or calories, no drugs, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects. That's kind of what I'm doing, and I'm really happy with the results so far. I have not seen any kind of problems, and the pounds are dropping off. Show yourself some love with $300 off, but hurry, this Valentine's sale ends February 28th. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Call oh my goodness, I lost my number here. 262-449-1180. That's 262-449-1180, or visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
8:12 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Deb, what do you see in the traffic there?
We still have that crash on 894 eastbound. Now the left lane is blocked with this at Loomis. So just watch out for the delays. Everybody's kind of shifting over to the right. Delays coming from 92nd Street past that scene. The westbound side heavy out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to that accident scene, since everybody has to slow down and take a peek at what is going on. Southbound on 43, backing up from Hampton all the way down to about Locust. Northbound's a little heavy right around the North Avenue curve up to Locust. And westbound 94, backing up from 27th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Skies already mostly sunny today. We'll have the winds picking up and on our way to a high of 60 degrees. With increasing clouds tonight. Tonight's low down to 35. A cooler high of 48 tomorrow. We're already at 51.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
up on 8:13 on Wisconsin's Morning News. So glad you're with us on this Wednesday morning. It looks like another beautiful day. This has got to be... Doing the story earlier about sturgeon spearing and whatever, they hit the harvest numbers, this, that, or the other. Also, I know you said when you were up there just on Saturday on Lake Winnebago that the ice was really thick and all that, but we've had a couple of these days, and then we had some rain overnight. Got rain all through the Fox Valley. Can't be good for conditions.
Yeah, probably some pooling going on in some spots.
So slushy for those folks headed out there. I want to get into this flap with the Milwaukee Common Council. It's in the news again. The council is in the news again for stuff happening, as we say in sports, off the field. And that analogy holds. You got the game and you got your team and your players, and they do what they do on the field. And when somebody gets involved in something for not good reasons, everybody calls it a distraction. Guy gets in trouble with the law or says something stupid on social media, and you hear the head coach talking to the fans saying, we don't need this distraction in the locker room. Right? We have a big game coming up because we're doing important things. That's where the important stuff happens on the field, and now we're distracted talking about other things, and all the other guys around their lockers are talking about this, that, or the other, and we're not focused on the work that we need to do.
Right.
Well, it seems like we got a lot of that going on at City Hall. Yeah, most recently, a story we've covered for a couple of weeks, the council president and accusations that became public against the president and CEO of the Wisconsin Center District, distracting from the important conversations about what to actually do with the Miller High Life Theater, the UWM Panther Arena, the Baird Center, how that all relates. Those are the important conversations, but instead we're talking about, did this guy grab me and who went to the cops, and he says no, and
the
all
goose
that.
scene.
Yes. Honk, honk. So that's been in the news the last couple of weeks. Now, this couple of council members who do not get along, which is fine.
That happens all the time, by the way. A lot of politicians don't like each other.
Yes. But in this case now, it's accusations of bullying, a formal complaint having been filed, shouting match, physical intimidation at City Hall. So let's get into it. You got Alderwoman Jocasta Zamaripa accusing Alderman Mark Chambers of an explosive confrontation just days ago. They are both now issuing statements. Let's start with her claim, then we'll give the alderman's defense, and then we'll get more into what they were even fighting about. Zamaripa represents a district on the near south side. And here's what she alleges happened last week from her statement. What should have been a conversation among colleagues quickly escalated into something far more serious. I was confronted in my office, verbally berated, physically intimidated in a way that made me feel trapped and unable to safely exit. Multiple individuals witnessed what occurred. During the encounter, I was subjected to profane and degrading remarks, including being taunted to, quote, start crying. The comments were gendered and demeaning. This is not the first time I have experienced hostility from this individual. So that's her statement.
What do you think does gendered mean? Is that misogynistic?
Perhaps that's the inclination there. One other thing to argue about. So you want Alderman Chambers' side of the story now? And then we can tell you what this was even about. Alderman Mark Chambers, District 2, so near Northside. I want to begin by acknowledging the seriousness of the claims that have been made and by affirming that every member of the Common Council deserves to feel safe, respected, and able to carry out their duties without fear or intimidation. I take those responsibilities and the trust placed in me as an elected official very seriously. I thought it was fair enough to read that. So he's not saying, we shouldn't be talking about this. What he's saying is, didn't happen like that.
Right.
So here's the rest of his stuff. I strongly and unequivocally dispute the characterization of events described regarding the incident. For the record, voices were raised by everyone in the room during this exchange. At no point did I physically block, threaten, or prevent anyone from leaving, nor did I misuse my authority in any way. While the discussion was candid and at moments intense, as can happen when elected officials engage passionately on issues affecting their constituents, raised voices or strong disagreement should not be misinterpreted as intimidation, abuse, or misconduct. I categorically reject those assertions.
That's the key line right there, the misinterpretation. So voices were raised, it was intense, but did it reach the level? And that's where it's a he said, she said.
And no one disputes that this went down. No one seems to dispute that
there is definitely an incident.
Yes, at best a spirited argument, but people were yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Right, raised voices. People were yelling at each other over there.
F-bomb thrown maybe. We're speculating here maybe.
So what was it even about? Apparently, they were discussing the council's proposed ICE-out legislation. Covered that a little bit in the news earlier this week. They want to put restrictions on immigration enforcement agents who operate in the city. Now, this is from Alderman Chambers again, and it kind of details what his initial gripe was that sort of launched all of this. I was brought into Alderwoman Zamarripa's office by Common Council President Jose Perez to discuss an email I had previously sent to those members regarding pending legislation and their disagreement. 4 council members were already present in the room. I was surprised to find multiple colleagues present. So he's feeling ambushed.
Okay.
Is where he's coming from. Hey, let's come on down the hall.
Yep.
Let's go in here. And then everybody's there. And now we're talking about this email that he sent. So what he was bent out of shape over is the alderman claims that he had sent a note around to a few other council members that he and Alderman Peter Bergelis, who probably didn't want nothing to do with this.
Don't drop my name.
Don't say my name. But he says the two of them had been working on some provisions that were contained in the legislation that was part of this ICE-out thing, but they were doing some separate stuff. He said, look, we were engaging local law enforcement. We were trying to talk with the city attorney's office. We were trying to get our T's crossed, our I's dotted on some of this stuff. Now, you all launched this whole thing, and some of our stuff's not in there. We didn't talk to each other on this. It's a case of, hello, hand, this is foot.
And
what
again,
are you up to today?
Again, that happens a lot. Not saying it's right, but it happens a lot where you're kind of always out for yourself a little bit.
Yes.
And
so-
every lawmaker can get caught with that.
And he was feeling like, look, we didn't engage. We didn't communicate.
What we've got
Nope, there we
here
go.
is failure to communicate.
Or to collaborate.
Yeah.
So that's what it was about. But now it's about all this other stuff. And to your earlier question of, was a line crossed? Is this a bully who has created a toxic work environment? And important to note, not just for the alderwoman in question, but City Hall is a workplace.
Well, can you yell at work?
Right. This
And
is a workplace.
Serious question.
Or can you threaten at work? Can you make people feel physically uncomfortable at work? You can't if you're in corporate America or wherever.
Have you ever yelled at work?
Have I yelled at? I'm not a yeller.
I was going to
at
say,
work.
you're not one to scream at someone else.
I don't scream at people. I have screamed about things at work. You've seen me lose my mind over things.
Me too.
But I'm not up in anybody's business about it. I'm not a confrontational
Yeah, you would
person.
never do that out of respect to the other people.
I've been yelled at work. For real. Like, bad.
I believe it.
You suggesting perhaps I had it coming?
I didn't say anything.
I've been, for sure. And we work in the media, and our offices and newsrooms operate differently than a lot of corporate
Sure,
America.
right. Yeah, they do. It's a little bit of a different animal.
So we talk to each other in different ways. But there are a couple of times where I got yelled at where I thought it was over the line. Like, okay, well, you could have made your point, sir, by having said this in a different way. But okay, too bad for me, feelings hurt or whatever. But I didn't go to HR and complain. And I'm not saying what's right or wrong, but there were a couple of times that I thought were over the line, but I took that as, all right, well, working a tough business.
Right, sure.
So to her point is it a toxic work environment that was unacceptable either for her or even anybody else that works there? Or is it, should she have taken it like I did? Yeah, working a tough business. We're in politics. It's rough and tumble, and sometimes people are going to yell at me and do other things. Was it something else? I mean, you were in charge of people. Did you scream at people? Erik was once news director in his role.
He never screamed, honestly. I can tell you that.
Well, thank you, Debbie, for
and
saying
you deserve to get yelled at a lot, Debbie.
All the time.
First, I was going to say,
very poor employee.
If there is one person who would never need to be yelled at ever, it's Debbie Lazica. Say that first of all. No, there's a few times. I can think of at least one time where Colleen Bull and we had to take our argument outside of the newsroom because there's too many people working in there. But my favorite part about Colleen, one of my favorite reporters of all time, is that 15 minutes later, we were both back in the newsroom handling our business and cranking away. So.
Had it out, said what needed to be said.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, fine.
Right.
You're the boss.
Absolutely.
Boom.
And then that time, Debbie, I had to tear you with it.
Telling you.
Never.
It was just that silent look. He doesn't scream at anybody. He just looks daggers into your head.
And Deb, am I wrong? Like, you feel he's disappointed in you?
Then that is the worst. That is totally the worst.
the disappointment in you is worse than any punishment.
Exactly.
I'm disappointed in you.
Stop it. Let's go to the road stop. Let's start raising my voice.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen at this thing in City Hall either. Right now, it's just a urination match, and definitely an off-the-field distraction.
Truth. Okay. Eastbound 894 at Loomis. We do still have that left lane blocked because of the accident that's there. One of the cars is hooked up onto a tow truck. Should be out of there pretty soon. Unfortunately, damage is done. Got backups coming out of the Hale interchange all the way to that point. Westbound, everybody's got to slow down, take a peek. So backups from the Mitchell interchange to just past Loomis as well. Southbound 43, we got backups just before Hampton all the way down past Capitol Drive to about Locust. Northbound 4394, we got backups around the Plainfield curve all the way up past Oklahoma Avenue. Back on the brakes from Beecher onto the high-rise bridge. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. If 2025 didn't go exactly as planned, you're not alone. You made it through, and that's what counts. Now it's time for taxes, and for a lot of people, that's when the stress kicks in, especially if things got messy along the way. The good news? A rough year doesn't mean a ruined future. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS created by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties, plus another $150,000 in taxes, because we know the tax law. Imagine walking into tax season with a plan, clarity, and someone in your corner who knows the tax law and knows how to use it. You earned it. We help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see how we can help you. Don't wait. Call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
You're invited. Vince Vitrano here for Colette Vacations, and I would love to have you join us on our trip. My turn to take a trip here. Southern Italy and Sicily this fall. My dad's side of the family, our family, we're from Palermo, and our tour actually starts there, a couple of days there. In fact, my dad's going to come along, so that's going to be super fun, and he looks forward to sharing that with all of you. Also on the itinerary, Agrigento's Valley of the Temples. We walk the excavated ruins of Pompeii. There will be wine and specialty cuisine and history all the way because we are assisted each day by a local guide. And we don't have to plan a thing. Colette is covering all the details, the flight, the meals, the best hotels, the amazing local experiences. It's all taken care of by my great team at Colette. My wife, Nicole, and I, and Joe Vitrano would love to have you join us. The trip's coming up in late October. Here's how we get in touch. Send me an email. Vince@WTMJ.com. That's Vince@WTMJ.com. I'll send you the beautiful brochure. It's got all the pictures, day-by-day breakdown, and your all-in cost and options. Traveling to Southern Italy and Sicily with WTMJ Colette. And Colette, join us this fall.
Greg Matzik here, and I gotta hand it to Matrix Basement Finishing. They did it. They knocked our basement project out of the park, had it done before Christmas Eve, and now our lower level, which we used to call downstairs, is where our family connects. Memories being made thanks to Matrix Basement Finishing. Get the space you've always wanted with Matrix Basement Finishing. They only do basements. Book your transformation today. Visit matrixbasements.com/Matzik. Special pricing for you and pay nothing until 2028 with Matrix Basement Finishing.
Big day today, happening today. It's Ash Wednesday. So, of course, everyone heard all the Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras craziness on Tuesday. Now the beginning of Lent is underway. And there was a report from CBS on Tuesday that caught our ear. Listen to this.
There are all kinds of street parties, formal balls, and other activities. It all comes to a screeching halt at midnight with the arrival of Lent and Ash Wednesday.
Now, we questioned whether or not that was legit. Like, screeching halt? Like, they actually stop partying in New Orleans?
When does anything come to a screeching halt in New Orleans?
Ever, right? So, apparently, that's a real thing.
Mardi Gras 2026 is in the books, and it was one heck of a party.
New Orleans Mayor Helena Moreno announcing to the crowds that Fat Tuesday is over and Ash Wednesday has arrived. She was joined by the police chief Ann Kirkpatrick.
It's time to go home, folks.
They then led scores of officers on horseback in cars and on foot, parting the crowd of thousands still partying right up till midnight on Bourbon Street. Dave Cohen for CBS News.
Not sure how to feel about that. Like,
kind of feels like a screeching
get
halt.
out of here. Go. They had priests with the ash walking down.
That you made up.
They did
not
not.
true.
They did not have that.
But they did. Okay, midnight. Shut it. I mean, the mayor there is the bouncer in the back of the where you. That's always does the clap.
Yeah.
Let's go. Gotta go. Gotta go.
So are they telling you to go home or go to church? You don't have to go home. You got to go to church. Right now.
Probably.
You take those beads off.
Go back. Repent. Don't throw the. Don't put them away, ma'am.
No, I'm not giving these to someone. I'm just holding them.
Ma'am, put them away. We're done with that.
So anyway, yeah. So Ash Wednesday is officially here. The Lenten season is now underway.
8:28 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Feeling the winter chill even inside your house? WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. Let me help you with that. We're talking today with Jeff Baer. He is owner of USA Insulation. USA to the rescue, Jeff. First things first, how often do you find working with existing homeowners that their homes are not properly insulated?
All the time, Vince. People just don't realize it. They finally look in their attic. They see they're running short there. And then we educate them on they might have some needs in their walls.
Now, do you find sometimes one area of the house needs a little more insulation, but another area is good?
On some occasions, absolutely.
But others not so much, right?
Correct. When we go out to your home, if we see that your insulation looks great, we're going to let you know that, and we're going to focus on the areas that you might have needs.
We're talking with Jeff Baer of USA Insulation of Milwaukee. All right, so what I think is so interesting about your company, Jeff, is you do it different. You get right into the walls of any exterior surface. Tell us about your innovative, highly effective injection foam insulation.
Sure, Vince. When we go out to a home, whether it's vinyl or aluminum sided or other surfaces, our goal is to remove that one piece of that siding all the way around the house, drill holes into the outer sheathing to gain access into the stud cavity. We then insert our foaming hose down, foam it from the bottom up, insert it up, foam from the top down. When we're done, we put a plug in place, and we replicate that as we go around the house. Once we're done, we clean up that side and put the siding back on. It's as if we were never there.
Now, is this the kind of thing that takes a couple of weeks to get done?
Absolutely not. Most homes we can generally get done in one day.
How about cost for homeowners?
Cost? Generally, on a 1,200 square foot ranch, you're looking at a price around $7,500.
But there are all these rebates, right, and discounts for qualified homeowners?
Absolutely. We've seen people get anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 in rebates, just depending on what they qualify for.
Well, and then you start with the energy savings right away.
Absolutely.
I feel warmer already, Jeff. Thank you. USA Insulation, usainsulation.net.
If you've been injured, let our team help get you back in the game. Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Bucks. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all.
Catch the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast on WTMJ.com.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Search teams trying to find 9 skiers still missing after an avalanche that happened last night in Northern California. The founder of Facebook in court in a matter of hours in a trial over social media and how it could hook in kids.
Mark Zuckerberg set to take the witness stand. The man in charge of Facebook and Instagram will face questions under oath about whether his social media platform deliberately targets children with addictive design features. A 20-year-old woman who's also suing YouTube claims the apps hooked her with features like instant notifications, autoplay, and infinite scrolling, which she claims caused her depression and suicidal thoughts.
That's ABC's Nicole D'Antonio. Several health and environmental groups are suing the EPA today. They are challenging the Trump administration's decision to roll back a finding that allowed regulation of greenhouse gas emissions. Billionaire Les Wexner facing questions in a congressional deposition about his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. He's the retired founder of the company behind Victoria's Secret. This is ABC News.
The delays westbound 94 are going to be coming from about 27th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard, eastbound from the Zoo Interchange all the way to Holly Road. Northbound 894 backing up right through the Hale Interchange, back on the brakes from Beloit Road up to National Avenue. Eastbound 894 does have backups out of the Hale Interchange all the way past an accident scene that happened right before Loomis. That has been cleared, by the way, that accident. On the westbound side, we got backups out of the Mitchell Interchange past Loomis as well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm Team forecast. Rain is out of the way. Skies mostly sunny today. Will be a bit on the windy side with a warm high of 60 degrees. Increasing clouds and a low of 35 tonight. Right now, Milwaukee's at 52 already. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Governor Tony Evers delivering his 8th and final State of the State address with tax cuts and funding for education still uncertain. Now, he touted his success for passing bills with bipartisan support, called on the legislature to keep that momentum moving.
We can't afford for lawmakers to lose focus on the future we've been working hard to build together just because it's an election year. So I know the legislature would rather hit the road and take the rest of the year off, but I'm going to ask lawmakers to stick around until our work here is finished.
Well, the pending legislation includes property tax relief, school funding, and nonpartisan redistricting.
State Republicans pushing that property tax relief. Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu says the state's $2.5 billion budget surplus belongs back in taxpayer pockets.
As you and your families are struggling to pay for groceries, housing, utilities, the state government has $2.5 billion of your money just sitting here in Madison. We want to give that money back to you.
LeMahieu says state Republicans want to return part of that surplus through $1,000 rebate checks.
Milwaukee alderwoman has now filed a formal complaint against a fellow alderperson after an incident between the two.
Alderwoman Jocasta Zamarripa claims she was confronted in her office by Alderman Mark Chambers February 11th before being yelled at over an unknown matter. In a statement, Zamarripa claims she, quote, felt trapped and unable to safely exit, and that multiple witnesses heard the exchange. Chambers, in a post on X, acknowledged an exchange occurred, but disputed that anyone was in harm's way. Zamarripa is also requesting a full investigation under the City of Milwaukee's Ethics Code. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Police looking for a suspect in an armed robbery and sexual assault near Marquette University in Milwaukee. A young student says she was approached right before 2 a.m. this morning near 14th and Kilbourne. Man displayed a weapon and then assaulted her. He stole some items and took off. She has been taken to the hospital for treatment.
Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. We're about 4 minutes off the opening bell, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up nearly 100 points at 49,631. S&P 500 at 68.58. That's up 15. And the NASDAQ rising 62 to 22,641. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:35.
Traffic brought to you by Plum Media, video production and live event management, plummedia.com.
When your message needs to connect, Plum Media delivers. Live events and video trusted by Wisconsin businesses since 1997. Visit plummedia.com.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
At Capri Communities, they believe people of every age deserve to enjoy life.
I recently moved my dad into a Capri community. He has gained such new independence. His falls have decreased, he's eating healthy meals, and going on great new adventures. Knowing Dad is in a great place really gives me the peace of mind I needed. And now, we're both enjoying life again.
Give the care that has your parent enjoying life again at Capri Communities. Get started today at capricommunities.com.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life.
At Access Legal, we stand up for people worn down by work.
Workers' comp is our sole focus, and our team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation.
Search AXIS Legal today.
Are you hosting an event, launching something new, wanting to get the word out about your part of the state? Be a featured guest on the WTMJ Experience Wisconsin show. Share your story, promote your event or business, and connect with fans all across the state. I'm John Merkier. I'd love to interview you. We reach listeners from Milwaukee to Madison, Green Bay to La Crosse, everywhere in between. It's Experience Wisconsin. Ready to shine a spotlight on your business or company? Email me, john@wtmj.com for more information. john@wtmj.com.
A scramble in Northern California.
Happening today.
Search and rescue team is going to be back out there looking for skiers who were buried from an avalanche.
Medical for an avalanche in the area of Castle Peak. Reported as 9 to 10 people buried, 3 others attempting to dig them out.
Yeah, some of these skiers you heard there from Broadcastify trying to dig these skiers out. They were backcountry skiers. They were on a tour. 9 remain missing this morning.
A group of 15 skiers and their guides was on the last leg of a 3-day backcountry trip when the avalanche struck. 6 of them made it to a cabin and were rescued. 9 are still unaccounted for.
It took us several hours to even get, equipment to the scene and get resources deployed.
Captain Russell Green with the Nevada County Sheriff's Office says the conditions are treacherous.
Snowing, very little visibility, high avalanche danger.
2 of the 6 rescued skiers had to be treated at a hospital. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
You heard Captain Green in that story there talking about how dangerous the conditions are, and that's also concerning for these rescuers.
The interstate's closed. The area is very tough to access, and the more people that we have up there, the higher chance of another incident happening.
So this group, which included 4 guides and 11 clients, they were caught in this avalanche. They were leaving. They were near Castle Peak. So that is, if you're trying to get your arms around where that is specifically, it's northwest of Lake Tahoe. And they were on their way back. They've been there for 3 days, and it was time to come back. When they got hit, there's this huge storm that's going through the western portion of the countries. And these 6 skiers who were survived were able to contact rescue teams from their beacons. So they had these beacons. Then they sheltered under a tarp until rescuers were able to get there around midnight. A couple of them are in the hospital. The rest buried alive. And the outcome does not sound good unless they were able to get out and just haven't made contact yet. But you had skiers digging, trying to find their friends after this avalanche came.
And where do you even start?
Right.
I mean, avalanches move quickly down the mountain.
And when you got 15 people, you ain't all right next to each other.
What did they say? That region got some 30 inches of snow in the last 24 hours?
Yeah, and it was on top. It was wet and heavy snow on top of more crystallized, sugary snow, if you will.
The lighter stuff.
Yeah.
And then that heavy stuff just slid over it.
And then it came right down.
8:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Checking in with Debbie here this morning. Boy, a lot of sunshine, Deb.
Yeah, we got a little bit of sun glare happening out there. Eastbound 94 backing up right out of the zoo interchange, heading towards Hawley Road. Back on the brakes coming out of the stadium interchange to 35th. Westbound is slowing down just before 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43, you got some backups basically from just before Capitol Drive down to about Locust. Other than that, we have that earlier accident at Loomis all gone on eastbound 894. Delays coming in from the Hale all the way past Loomis. Westbound's just got a little pocket of heavy traffic heading right past 60th Street. So overall, not looking too bad there. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
MW Marine.
Fishermen, tired of winter? Come in from the cold at MW Marine this Saturday, starting at 11 a.m. for a free fishing seminar. Meet Captain Doug Klett, Mercury Pro, as he breaks down springtime muskies on Lake Geneva, where to find them and how to get them to bite. Then check out boats, upgrades, and accessories to get your rig ready for the season. It's free and no reservations required. MW Marine.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Tri-County Contracting. So did you take our advice? Suggested for Valentine's Day that you send your significant other to Tri-County Contracting, WI.com, and say, hey, you know what we could do? Go get that roof, honey. Go to Tri-County
My
Contracting,
gift to you.
WI.com, and go to the Instant Roof Quote button. Look at this. Watch. I'll type it in. Just type that in there.
I've done all the work for you.
And there we got our number. Why don't we call Tri-County together? See? Did it work? Tell me it worked. Tri-County Contracting.
Tell me you have something else
WI.com.
to sell for Chuck. Okay.
Chuck loves this. And by the way, if you haven't done that, the website still works, and there's so much you can find on there. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's roofing, siding, and windows that'll make you love your home again. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care switched from a previous vendor to business technology from James Imaging Systems. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. It's not just all about the money. We're getting value here as well.
Robert Prang, CIO with Tri-City National Bank, likes the fact that James Imaging is local.
So being able to work with a local company like James that has that flexibility with their staff and being able to deliver for us has given us the ability to make the right decisions for our organization.
And Junior Achievement of Wisconsin VP of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, had this advice for others.
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at amazonbusiness.com.
All the action's at the mall, but we'd rather be here skating. The action's at the mall, but we'd rather be here skating.
8:43 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
In New Jersey.
A couple of shows on stage to talk about this morning. That is music from the Tony Award-winning Best Musical in 2023. Kimberly Akimbo playing now at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. We went for opening nights Tuesday night, so a late one, but totally worth it. Really refreshing, interesting show. I'd call it a dramedy. I don't know if everyone would agree, but it was an interesting storyline, but it was also hilarious.
Oh,
so
great.
that's right. That's always a dramedy.
Yeah, that's fun.
Right? There were dramatic moments and some serious topics addressed, but also hilarious all the way through. So the storyline is a 16-year-old girl who has a rare condition that makes her age physically 4 to 5 times faster than an otherwise healthy child. So she is in high school in this, but it looks like she's 60. And so the story talks about her set of friends or people she tries to make friends with. It's very funny.
Yeah.
I would, if you were planning to go, and I think it'd be a hit with younger people, but not kids. I'd rate it R for language.
Ooh, the swears. Okay.
So nothing sexual on stage or anything like that, but there were some choice words in there.
All right.
And I'll tell you, I don't know if this happens everywhere, but Milwaukee, there was some audible woohoo when a few of those words were dropped.
All right.
So you've been warned. I wouldn't tell you to not go, but just for age of kids that you might bring with you, I'd say 16 and up maybe. Or, well, I guess what's R? 17. But kids are more mature now than they've ever been.
They are,
so,
yes.
All right, high school age then. Can we say that? Cut it off there. But really interesting show. Like I said, it won the Tony in 23. Good music. Just I didn't know anything about it going in, but I was told by all the theater people, like, oh, yeah, you got to see it. You got to see it. So really glad that we saw that. That runs through the weekend at the Marcus Center. And then really cool and interesting show running now at Milwaukee Repertory Theater.
I think that McNeil is the right play to open the Harold Franke Studio Theater because we're going to be immersed in this digital aesthetic.
So that's one of the performers in the show at the Rep. They premiered McNeil in its newly rebuilt studio theater. So that's the one that used to be the Stimke Theater, went all the way up top,
Oh, yes. Right.
And they've sort of built it in, you've got a couple of seating arrangement, like adjacent to the stage. You're right on top of the stage now. And one of the stars of the show is all of the tech. It's the theater now is super teched out. It's got a giant HD screen that is the whole backdrop. So they can do all kinds of things with that. Set pieces that moved, and there were screens on those as well. And it fits so perfectly for this work because it was about AI. And you're like stuck in my brain because we talk about AI a lot. I'm like, Erik would love this. Erik would love this because it tackles all these really cool AI questions. This is a story about a Pulitzer Prize winning writer. using AI and other people's work to write his novels.
All the technology that will be shown to this audience will definitely be cutting edge and is terrific.
I think folks should come see this play because it's asking really pertinent questions about this new technology that is available to the world and asking what are the consequences of its use.
It's going to be a hell of a ride.
It was a hell of a ride. So you're fully immersed in the sound in the new studio theater as well. It's phenomenal, and just that you heard from the guy there on the front end of that cut from Milwaukee Rep, the guy who plays McNeil, and so he's feeding AI not only his work but also other pieces of literature.
Cool.
But he's telling AI, write this in the voice of, I can't remember what his first name was, McNeil. So it'd be as if you told AI to write, any of your scripts here, but do it in Erik Bilstad's voice.
Okay.
So is that cheating? It is your voice.
I don't know. It's kind of cheating.
But it wrote it for you, and it wouldn't know who you are unless you told it and fed all of your stuff. So it is taking you and your essence, but it's cranking that out. And where else is it borrowing from? And then there's family strife and all sorts of other stuff. But a fascinating show and a great way to premiere that new theater or newly rebuilt theater in the Associated Bank Theater Center.
Hey, you should also mention other news that is kind of related to this that affects you. Or
the UPAF thing?
Yes.
It's also going to affect you because I'm going to be worn out for the next 4 months. I got a lot of work to do.
Well, be that as it may, still an exciting announcement.
Sure. United Performing Arts Fund has asked me to co-chair their annual community campaign, and this is every year. And I think it's great that it's called the annual campaign because I believe, let me back up. UPAF, if you don't know, United Performing Arts Fund is a clearinghouse. People donate to UPAF, and then UPAF distributes out the literally millions of dollars they raise every year to our various performing arts groups. I think it's important spiritually for our community. I think there's an economic impact without question. And we are the envy, Milwaukee is, of many other larger cultural centers because we have this organization that generates arts funding in the way that it does. So important to me. My kids were all involved in theater. My sister's involved in it as well. So they've asked me to co-chair the annual campaign.
Well, congratulations, first of all, for that. That's a big deal. I know you don't like talking about yourself. And so who did you say the co-chair is?
Cecilia Gore, Executive Director of the Milwaukee Brewers Community Foundation. So really, she's the chair.
Yeah, you're the side piece.
That's right. I will assist Cecilia because she does this for a living and so well with the Brewers. And
she knows everybody.
She's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're going to raise a whole ton of money, and I'll be asking for your help from time to time in many ways. The whole thing culminates in the UPAF Ride for the Arts presented by Miller Lite, which comes up this year at the end of May.
So are you going to do any TV? Are we going to see you on like some of the TV stations?
I wouldn't think. It's more
it's
UPAF,
co-chair Vince Vitrano.
UPAF does a robust workplace giving campaign. So if you work at some of our big companies here, maybe there's an opportunity for me to come in with that's part of that and just speak from the heart on the arts.
We always get tickets donated to us from our donation. Like we'll get a chance to go see a show.
Little something in it for you, right? If you contribute to UPAF. And like I said, I like that they call it the annual community campaign because I do believe when you're asking people for money, and there are a lot of wonderful causes, and we have a lot of ways that our hearts are drawn to those various causes. So when you're asking people to do something, I think it is incumbent upon you to state your case. And we do that every year for the arts. It's more than 50 years at UPAF. And state your case. Okay, you want something from me? State your case. I think it has a very strong case to be made. And so I'm honored that they would ask me to.
They picked a couple of good ones because I know you, and you wouldn't do something like this if it didn't mean anything to you. You wouldn't do it because you didn't care. So
that's very kind of you. And
very
as far
genuine
as
in this.
Seeing a show, we have McNeil at Milwaukee Rep through March 22nd, and Kimberly Akimbo now playing through Sunday at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. Deb, you like the musicals?
Yes, I do.
You seen this one or no?
I have not seen it. It sounds like it's a
Put
good
it on
one.
your list, right up your alley. You'd love it.
Oh, cool. That AI one, too, sounds really
Also on
interesting.
your list.
Alrighty. Eastbound 94, we do have delays basically from 92nd Street all the way to Holly Road. Westbound slowing down from before 27th past Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 894 between Beloit Road and National Avenue. We're going to see a little bit of a heavy ride there. Also, eastbound 894, we are backing up from just before Forest Home all the way to about 60th. And then other than that, everything else seems to be rolling along a lot better. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Millions of inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail, so save thousands. Save big on new hot tubs, spas, and saunas, also cold tubs. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show this weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Visit 1-800-SPASale.com.
Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Our homes ask a lot of their windows and doors every season. Volatile weather, got to be ready for just about anything year-round. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, that's why they're so focused on quality and durability in everything that they do. You shouldn't have to make compromises when it comes to being comfortable in your home. So right now, take advantage of 0% interest on your financing for up to 4 years. Spread those payments out and you won't pay a dime of interest. The right windows and doors make a meaningful difference in your home's comfort, efficiency, and the overall style. And with Pella, you're getting expert recommendations. They can be designed around your home, your needs, the way you live. They guide you every step of the way, helping you choose the right options for your home, for your style, and your budget. And with 0% interest on your financing for up to 4 years, plus a 10-year limited warranty, this decision you'll feel good about long after those windows and doors are installed. Certain restrictions do apply. The offer ends at the end of this month, so set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Stormfisher with Stormfisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last?
Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement.
We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC. Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
How old is too old? 75 could be that number. Or maybe 74. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel has a story about the state assembly passing a measure this week. No one over the age of 74 could begin a term as a Wisconsin judge or a state Supreme Court justice. The bill, which only passed along party lines, it was not bipartisan, only Republicans passed it in the assembly, bars anyone 75 or older from being elected or appointed to such positions. Legislation like this has been brought up before, but has failed. More than 24 states have age limits for judgeships, including Illinois and Michigan, which have age caps of 75 and 70, respectively.
Been talking about this at the federal level as well. I'm curious why it would be partisan. So there must be something in there that the Dems don't like.
Something else?
There's something else.
Potentially.
Right? Could be. I don't see this as a right-left issue. Both sides have talked about it.
And this is something you've heard even with lawmakers, too. And got to admit, you can be sharp as a tack, but still not have it in you to work as hard when you're 80 years old, which is totally fine, by the way.
Yeah. Where I stand on these, I have mixed feelings always when you talk about, or even term limits sometimes, because they stand for election. Now, Supreme Court would be different, right? No, Supreme Court here is 10 years.
10
it's
years.
A 10-year
in
term,
Wisconsin,
and that's a long
yes,
one.
Yes.
Federal court, it's an appointment for life.
Lifetime, yep. Although many people do retire.
But in most of our offices, you want to talk about term limits, say, for example, for a state legislature or 75 years old for state legislature, whatever. Every 2 years, assemblymen and women have to stand before the voters, say, send me back.
Yeah, but I don't know. Incumbency
it's your choice.
It's pretty easy if you're in office. I don't know whether you're a judge or not. If you're in office, it's pretty easy to win re-election in Washington.
That's what also gives me pause. And here, Because once you're the incumbent, we have a number of these where...
I mean, we're wrapping up here pretty soon for the year so they can just run for re-election.
The power of the incumbency is stronger than it ever has been, so that is a problem and perhaps a reason that you start looking at some of these things.
It does make you wonder sometimes, too, like, how little of work are they doing? Because even you can be 75, 80 years old and all in and doing all the stuff, and still, yeah, you might like a nap occasionally. You have your own itinerary to work when you want and how you're going to do that, and maybe you have a part-time job, which is great. But can you be a lawmaker? And you wonder, okay, if you're 81 years old and you're a lawmaker or a judge, how are you
able to do that?
Yes,
right? Okay, I see.
We're tired,
right? And you are
you
too.
You can be half the age and tired.
The other issue I have though is the arbitrary limit of some 75-year-olds are sharper than others, right?
Right.
How do you figure that out?
Well, then get appointed at 73 according to this measure, and then you're good. 73 or 74.
858.
We'll right now, the Senate has not decided to take it up.
When the words "I love you" reach my ear, don't mind these lines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The Village Board in Menominee Falls has approved incentives for Milwaukee Tool's planned expansion. The tool maker is planning a $205 million project that includes new buildings and remodeling existing offices. The Hampton Inn and Suites near State Fair Park sold for $9.1 million. The 101-room hotel was sold by an affiliate of Stand Rock Hospitality in Wisconsin Dells. The deal closed February 11th. The Oak Creek Common Council has approved a conditional use permit to revive a delayed 36-unit condo project. The developer is again proposing 10 townhome-style buildings. Construction on the Royal Estates condominiums could begin this year. I'm David Schuyler for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Experience an auto show like never before. The Milwaukee Auto Show hits the road with new dates and a new easy access, easy to park location. Clear your calendar. May 14th through 17th at the Wisconsin State Fair Park and Expo Center. Whether shopping or just dreaming, you'll see sleek luxury cars to rugged trucks and everyday favorites. Hundreds of new vehicles. May 14th through 17th at the Wisconsin State Fair Park and Expo Center. AutoShowMilwaukee.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets, something that can positively affect your mood, getting organized and clearing out the clutter. A well-rounded closet could be the most powerful room in your home. Inspired Closets can transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. What separates Inspired Closets from the others? Their 3D design software and a culture that promises to build what you want and need. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, a wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
What does meaningful giving really look like? Join Annex Wealth Management for our Women in Wealth series, Giving from the Heart, where purpose meets tax planning, on February 19th in Brookfield. Enjoy dinner, refreshments, and an engaging evening on giving with intention. Hear from a local panel of nonprofit leaders as they explore today's philanthropic trends, smart charitable strategies, and how your giving can reflect your values and legacy.
Hi, I'm Maggie Tate-Techman, Executive Director at Haws. I hope to see you on February 19th. Reserve your spot on the events page at annexwealth.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just after 9 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Wednesday, February 18th. Our top story, filing a complaint against a fellow Common Council member.
I'm Erik Bilstad. The clock is ticking to find missing skiers in California.
Your Storm Team forecast, sunshine today and a high of 60 degrees. We'll be a bit on the windy side. Increasing clouds, low down to 35 tonight. Chance for showers and maybe an isolated thunderstorm once again on Thursday with a high of 48. Right now at 55. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, two conflicting stories unfolding regarding an incident between two Milwaukee politicians at City Hall.
Zamaripa is filing a formal complaint against Alderman Mark Chambers, who she says confronted her in her office on February 11th and that she was, quote, verbally berated and physically intimidated. In response, Chambers says he was not the aggressor in the exchange, which he says began when he was brought into her office to discuss an email regarding pending legislation. Chambers added 4 other unidentified Common Council members were in the room as well. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson declined a request for comment on the exchange. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A desperate search underway for 9 missing backcountry skiers buried by an avalanche in Northern California.
We do know that backcountry skiers often have gear with them like airbag backpacks that can help them stay surface during an avalanche, but it's still not clear what kind of gear this group had with them at the time of the avalanche. What we do know is that when it comes to avalanche survival statistics, a fast rescue is critical, and these rescue teams know the clock is ticking.
ABC's Trevor Alt there in Nevada County, California. 6 skiers survived that avalanche and were trapped by snow and ice. 2 have been taken to the hospital.
Search for Nancy Guthrie, mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, entering now its 18th day, and talked about this as a possibility. No match for the DNA found in that glove near the house. Now authorities could call on private genealogy companies to help with that search. News Nation's Jessica Cartagena.
If they can't get that information off of CODIS, if there is no match, now they can go to Ancestry.com, 23andMe, one of these genealogy websites. However, it's important to remember these are private companies. They do not necessarily have to work with law enforcement, but they could cooperate. But again, it is up to them. They could also get an order from a judge to cooperate. But again, that could tie things up legally.
Now, some of these private platforms have cooperated with law enforcement in the past, but it is usually compelled through court order.
An armed robbery and sexual assault near Marquette University involving a student. She was approached around 2 a.m. today near 14th and Kilbourne. Man with a weapon allegedly assaulted her, stole items from her as well, and took off running. The female student now in the hospital.
Milwaukee Public School leaders coming up with solutions, they say, after a recent audit revealed a budget deficit of $46 million. Budget Director Nick Sinrem.
As a part of our review, we are doing a deep dive into every single contract and every single encumbrance and looking where we can reduce and eliminate obligations that have not already been expended.
District also is planning to freeze hiring for non-classroom positions, study transportation costs, and make cuts in service staffing.
News about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 232, the NASDAQ is up 212, and the S&P also up this morning, up 45.
Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:05.
Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian, screaming Sicilian, more.
Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
You've spent a lifetime taking care of others. Now it's your turn to enjoy life your way. At Capri Communities, they offer vibrant senior living where neighbors become friends, and each day brings something to smile about.
Well, it's breakfast with the boys, and then bingo is at 3 in the afternoon. I lost that super lady I lived with for 60 years, but have found a home and doing well. The accommodations, the facilities, it's been a pleasure.
Find your perfect new home at capricommunities.com.
Jessica Ty here for Steinhoffels. If you've been dreaming about refreshing a room or even your whole home, Steinhoffels can make it so much easier. Their Decorating Solutions program pairs you with a designer who listens, gets your style, and helps create a space you truly love. They can help with colors, layouts, furniture, even those little finishing touches that make a room feel uniquely yours. It's easy, it's personal, and it makes a huge difference. So if you're ready to love your home even more, check out Steinhoffels Decorating Solutions.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update for the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Brewers will get back at it at spring training in Arizona today. Day one in the books. Owner Mark Attanasio optimistic for what the team's got cooking this year.
I know every team's hopeful now, and we're hopeful this year. But we know how hard it is because we've been there, done that. We've won 3 divisions in a row. With, the national media is focused so much on the coasts. There's a lot of competition in our division. And anybody who thinks there's anything, they can go take a bat and hit against Paul Skeens, And so we take nothing for granted, but, we feel good this year.
First game for Cactus League play for the Brewers is coming up on Saturday. We'll have the broadcast for you here on your home of the Brewers, News Radio 620 WTMJ. College basketball Badgers fell to The Ohio State University. Well, didn't you see this coming?
Right.
Come on, man. First crack the top 25. You got 2 top 10 wins at home. It's all good. Badgers lost 86-69. Taking a break now before taking on Iowa Sunday at the Kohl Center. That game already sold out. And Marquette hosts the red-hot Red Storm of St. John's at Fiserv Forum tonight. That game on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
WTMJ time saver traffic. Got one issue that we're looking at, 94 eastbound. So this is getting into the road work anyway there into the stadium. Right now you got a crash that's blocking the left shoulder on eastbound near 84th Street. So it's out of the way a little bit, but it's already making a congested area a little bit tighter as you're getting into the road work. But you'll get through. You'll notice some extra brake lights there.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today's a good one. We'll be a bit on the windy side. Sunshine throughout and a high of 60 degrees. Increasing clouds tonight. Tonight's low 35. Chance of afternoon or evening thunderstorms on Thursday with a high of 48. Friday, a rain-snow mix is likely. Minor snow accumulation with a high of 40 degrees. And for the weekend, 34 your high on Saturday. A few flurries. Sunday, slight chance of snow. High at the freezing mark. Right now, we're at 55.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
It was a party in Madison. Well, we'll see. We'll get there.
Did they open with the band?
No, that's how it ended. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, so Governor Evers making some news during his final address to the state.
I'm honored to be the 46th governor of the great state of Wisconsin as I deliver my 8th and final State of the State address to you tonight. It's true. Republicans start cheering there.
Yeah. Actually, Evers made a joke about that.
A lot of happy faces over here.
Okay. That's funny, right?
Yep.
Both sides funny.
Mm-hmm. So the governor admitted, even though this is his final speech, doesn't mean it's going to be short. Listen to the reaction when he makes this joke.
And no, legislators, that doesn't mean my speech got any shorter. In fact, I think it's probably longer. Sorry.
Go on. Everyone's going to
Okay.
All right.
Good start.
Anyway,
Fun.
so the governor got underway. He always has a year of, right? Last year is the year of the kid, trying to focus on the children. What's the year this year?
I want us to focus on our Wisconsin values of kindness, respect, empathy, compassion. I'm declaring 2026 the year of the neighbor because we could...
The year of the neighbor, working together, working for friends, making sure we're taking care of each other.
We shovel a driveway or bake a casserole. and we show up for our neighbors.
Or dump leaves into their yard because you're frustrated their tree is dumping all the leaves in your yard during the fall.
Blow them up on Facebook on your neighborhood community page.
Or getting upset because neighbor's dog is always barking. I'm sorry.
Can I interject? I think that's not a bad thing, right? To say and to remind us, to unify as Wisconsinites, to be kind to our neighbors. Something that sticks with me was President George W. Bush post 9/11 saying, "I want out of everybody here, volunteer, have a servant attitude. If you want to do something for your country, for your state, for your neighborhood, volunteer. Do take the equivalent of 2 work weeks a year, 80 hours, and volunteer." Like that stuck with me. With it this year, listen, come together, Wisconsin. Be kind to each other
and mow your lawn occasionally.
Would you mow and listen next door? Can you take care of the weeds? Right.
Hey, I'm not
asking for.
I'm having a party this weekend. Can you just do me a solid?
Flying into my yard. Right.
Did make some news. So the governor did implore everyone to stick around. Right. Hey, let's get some more packages done before everyone leaves, because everyone leaves early at the end of a session so they can run for re-election. So we pay them full time, but they're done in March. So again, that's a whole different conversation.
For the year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Again, whole different conversation. Not saying it's a good one, but yes, that's ridiculous. Anyway, he's asking for them to stay, and I'm sure that's what any governor would say. Yeah, come stay. Let's get more things done. He also was a bit lukewarm, or kind of dumped a bucket of cold water on any tax relief package that had been proposed this week by the Republicans. Remember that they were talking about this. Okay, what we could do with that $2.5 billion surplus. And there was some back and forth, and maybe it appeared from the Assembly Speaker, Robin Vos, that, okay, we might be able to come to some agreement here together, you and us, Governor. And I think the Republicans were a little, a little miffed, if you will, that he, during his speech, said, I'm not sure that tax relief package is going to work for me.
Yeah. Speaker Vos had said they were negotiating.
Right.
He used that word, although then it was later revealed, well, it wasn't so much, this, that, or the other. It wasn't the horse trading exactly, but we were talking about things. What is it that because we know we disagree on a great many things, what is it we can pass here through the Republican legislature that you would actually sign that gives you a little bit of what you want, a little bit what we want?
He thought, or at least he tells reporters, I thought we were making progress, supposed to talk about it again today.
Yeah.
But does this change things? When it comes to funding schools, especially, Evers with this line.
I'll go 10 toes with any lawmaker about school funding.
Hang on.
You heard that there? Yeah, he said you go 10 toes, meaning he's going to always fight for the school and the kid.
Any lawmaker about school funding.
Someone yelled at 10 toes.
Somebody liked that line.
So that guy popped up again later. So later, the governor made a joke about, hey, I know we're in election season now. If you need some help, let me know, because he's had a good run in statewide elections. So listen to what someone yells in the background.
By the way, if anybody's running that wants advice from someone who won 5 statewide elections, right here. Right here.
Someone
Did you give him a scoreboard?
Someone yelled a scoreboard.
5 statewide elections. Right here. Right here.
Okay. So not a heckler, a fan.
Yes. Yeah, It seemed
who thought it was his night.
It seemed a bit planned. I'm not sure.
It didn't sound planned by the governor.
Statewide elections. Right here.
Okay. All right. So Republicans obviously have their own belief on different things. We heard from Devin Lemonhew, the Senate Majority Leader, afterward had a taped response.
We can make our state stronger by lowering property taxes, supporting schools, and returning the surplus to the people who created it, you, the taxpayers. The legislature is ready. It's up to Governor Evers to make this compromise a reality.
And then in the background, someone yelled, No.
Well, that wasn't their guy.
So State of the State is now in the books. As always, it ends a certain way. The governor's done this every year. He's not the first to do it, but he's been traditionally bringing in the Wisconsin band at the end. I do find this funny that, we're so worried about not showing support for the other party. And they all do it. They always are worried, sitting on their hands when whoever's speaking, because the one side doesn't want to show they're...
Right.
supporting
You'll
them.
see Republicans sit on their hands, or Democrats sit on their hands when President Trump does his State of the Union.
Can't we all agree? Like, you can still clap to the UW marching band. Like, you don't have to
I think
stand
that's why
there.
they bring them.
You don't have to stand there with your hands in your pockets. I get it. You're told, hey, don't support the other side, but
no, I think everybody enjoys this part.
No, watch it. There's lawmakers hands in pockets.
Because they need to continue to look angry over everything that's just been said.
They want to clap, I'm sure of it, but like, I got to sit here and just listen. I was surprised that the Marquette marching band didn't. I don't know. Does Marquette even have a marching band? Anyway, it was
I don't
UW.
think they march.
So here's my favorite part. This happens every year. You have to close out the session, right? You have to be done when you're done with these State of the States. So they tried to do that. Of course, the band is still jamming all the time. All right. Almost done.
Surely they're done here.
We can do it now, right?
Yes.
The representative from the 31st District.
Nope. So let's keep going.
The representative from the 31st has moved that the joint convention arise. All those in favor signify by saying
Again, it's still going. Here's the thing, again, like
you need it, but you do need a motion to adjourn.
It kills me that the speaker's like, no, we're doing it now. The speaker will not wait. Listen, so Robin Voss takes it here at the end. We're gonna finish, and he could have hit the stinger, but he chooses not to.
The question is, shall the assembly stand adjourned until 1:15 p.m. tomorrow on Wednesday, February 18th?
We're getting there.
All those in favor of adjournment say aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it. The assembly is adjourned.
It was so close. He could have had it. He could have hit the stinger and hit that gavel right then.
Oh, you wanted a bang bang?
Yes.
King, king.
Because if you listen, he hits the stinger early.
Anyone opposed? The ayes have it. The assembly is adjourned.
Oh, he could have hit it on the second.
Yes. Hit that post. So there you have it.
He handled the ramp well.
Yeah,
right?
you got
Right
into
up
it.
until
Yep. But he just wanted to get out of there. Didn't know how long the band was going to be playing. The band could still be playing for all we know.
I like you said, they have to do this. Like, could they not
Yes,
have
this
waited?
is
But
rules and procedures, yeah.
could the band not have had some, I don't know, sense of what was going on around them?
They never seemed to.
It was almost like on cue, like, okay, we're just going to bum, 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 bum.
Every year it's
We're
the
going
same.
to do what we want to do.
Okay, all right, well, we can either wait or we can look like the bad guys. Either way, it's official. It is now done. The final State of the State. And by the way, for those wondering, the State of the Union in Washington is next week.
1:15 p.m. tomorrow on Wednesday, February 18th. All those in favor of adjournment say aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it. The assembly is adjourned.
Fishermen, tired of winter? Come in from the cold at MW Marine this Saturday, starting at 11 a.m. for a free fishing seminar. Meet Captain Doug Klett, Mercury Pro, as he breaks down springtime muskies on Lake Geneva, where to find them and how to get them to bite. Then check out boats, upgrades, and accessories to get your rig ready for the season. It's free and no reservations required. MW Marine.
You probably heard the news about the housing situation. It is still tough to buy right now. So maybe you're thinking of investing in the home you have with Matrix Basement Finishing. Here's how you do that. You build out this lower level space where you can build relationships. Imagine this is the spot where the whole family is there. You're enjoying movie night, or you have a special place for games with the kids. Speaking of the kids, place where they can have their friends over, and you get to become that house that everybody wants to hang out in. Now, maybe at first blush, that sounds like maybe not what you want, but think about this. You've built out this great space. Kids are out of your way with all their friends, but you rest easy knowing that the kids are at your house, they're in a safe environment and having fun. I have Brent and Josh from Matrix in my home. They can help map it all out for you right at the kitchen table, including great pricing and financing options. One of those options is, if you book now, you can choose to make no payments until 2028 with Matrix Basement Finishing. Tell them Vinny sent you, matrixbasements.com.
For 176 years, St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee has been neighbors helping neighbors, working to eliminate poverty and hunger with compassion and dignity. When families face hard times, our volunteers step in. Over 600 trained volunteers ready to meet people where they're at, in their homes. And that's what our Neighbors Helping Neighbors home visit program is all about. Volunteers travel in pairs, listening first, then offering personalized support. They provide families and individuals with things like furniture, beds, food, clothing, and connect them to vital community resources, help that provides stability during challenging times. These home visits don't just address an immediate need, they help create a safer, more stable future for our families and individuals in our community. Last year alone, St. Vincent de Paul Society volunteers completed nearly 11,000 home visits across Milwaukee County, serving those who need us most. Together, we are neighbors helping neighbors. To learn more about our mission or get involved, visit svdpmilw.org.
We haven't really had to worry about spoiler alerts in the Olympics, as the timing is worked out such that most of the results that we would talk about have already occurred. However, there are a few events that happen concurrent to the running of this year's program. And one of them is involving
your point is that
Michaela Schifrin, who is one of the greatest downhill skiers of all time.
Of all time.
But in recent Olympic Games has struggled, crashed, failed, and had one more shot at medaling in these games. So if you don't want to know what happened, I'm going to tell you what happened.
And this was like an hour ago this came out.
I don't even know if that's still the right thing to do, E. Like, do you have to get, like, there's nothing that doesn't occur in people's lives in real time anymore, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like, you can't even talk about, like, television shows anymore. Like,
Right.
anything.
Because somebody ripped through all 8 episodes last night of the recent season dropped, and you're like halfway through the first.
Yep,
and
yep.
Oh, no, don't tell
These are things that we used to all look forward to together.
Yeah. So she had, it wasn't the giant slalom, it was the alpine slalom. But her last shot at a medal. She won.
Yes.
She won
Yes,
gold.
she did. Mm-hmm.
That is Michaela Schifrin. She is golden at these Olympic Games. Now, Wisconsin's Jordan Stoltz, he races tomorrow. Raced twice so far. He's won gold twice so far. So tomorrow his shot at 3 straight actually will begin during our show. I think the race starts 9:30 our time.
Assuming he's near the end of it.
And right, so I would not think that he would be racing by the time we're off the air or until we're off the air, but the event starts at 9:30 our time. That's the 1,500-meter speed skate. Now, Wisconsin's Morning News Olympics correspondent Lori Nickel of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, she's on her way back for the games. She's covered Jordan's first 2 races there and will be live with us again tomorrow morning stateside here as we get ready for his next race. And Lori has been covering Jordan for years, from before his first Olympics in Beijing when he was just 17 years old. And she is, over the course of these years, developing a great relationship with the Stoltz family as well. His sister, his parents, Jane and Dirk. And Lori caught up with Dad, with Dirk Stoltz, after Jordan had just won his second gold. And this made me so happy how Wisconsin, our guy, and his family is handling all of this. So I want to play a few cuts that Lori sent me from her extended interview. This is, first, let's talk about racing and just how confident this young man is in what he is doing out there.
Just by the tone of his voice, he was like super relaxed, super confident. You know, we talked about the pairings, and he's like, it doesn't matter whether I'm on the inner or the outer. He was that confident.
Saying that he talked to his son the night before the 500, so this would have been his attempt at second gold, and he's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. And what I love about Jordan is I don't think he comes off this way either. I think he doesn't come off boastful. Does he to you?
No, not at all. And it's not even like confidence. It's just belief.
Yeah. I know what I'm doing here. I feel good about what I'm doing, how I'm set up.
The facts are the facts.
Right.
I am technically the best at this.
Yes. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to have a great race. So I love that about him. The family is taking care of him. I love this story, and Lori wrote about it. But apparently Jordan loves, like, his fuel is steak. That's like what he needs. That super protein, and he loves to eat steaks as he's recovering from and preparing for another race. They must have something in the games. We'll have to ask Lori about it, but it sounds like if you have your own food that you want to bring over or somehow get to you in the Olympic Village, that they must have someone to prepare that because Dirk Stoltz has been bringing Jordan steak at the Olympic Village. And he had a story about how he delivered that to him. And you have to think of this through the eyes of, he's a former Washington County Sheriff's deputy, is Jordan's dad, all right? So he says, I got this box of steaks and I need to get it to Jordan at the Olympic Village.
Yeah, we found where the Olympic Village is, and then Mark ends up showing up on a bike with a backpack, and I get out of the car with a package, and looks like a drug deal going down on the street, and we give each other a hug, and he goes on his way. So that's how he's getting his steaks.
Deliver the package, guy puts it in his backpack, heads back on in. What the hell's going on over here?
Look both ways.
Right.
Have a fedora on and some sunglasses.
Right. It was not suspicious. That's what it was, but that's how he's literally feeding his son at these games. Talked a little bit about who Jordan is, and Lori's mentioned how the Dutch, like, this is their NFL. This is their baseball, speed skating is. And so since he's the biggest star in speed skating, he's also a really big star there. And this tells you, too, about what kind of guy he is he's developed a relationship with the Dutch fans. So they appreciate him. And the Stoltzes even talked about how they sat next to, who is his big opponent in these first two races? LeBeau.
Oh, yes,
right?
yes.
From the Netherlands. They sat side by side with LeBeau's parents and congratulated each other after the race.
I think it gave him an idea of what to expect, right?
Right, because he wasn't a medal favorite then.
Right, and he didn't, obviously he got attention there, but where he really gets the attention is in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Tons of media, crowds go crazy, everybody wants a piece of him, you know, autographs and stuff like that, so he's kind of used to that, you know? And I think that really helped more than anything is the Dutch competitions.
I actually talked to fans today who were rooting for both Yenning de Boer and Jordan. In their full orange and everything, tulip hats, but they were rooting for Jordan because they met him, had a photo with him, just like he was so personable. Don't you think that's crazy that a whole other country is also rooting?
Well, then the crazy thing is even at the 1,000, we, bump into Yenning's mom and dad, and, we're all giving each other hugs and super supportive. We bumped him into him again here before the 500, and we talked for 15 minutes. And
so great.
Hugs and everything, and good luck.
They like you?
Yeah,
like down to earth people?
Yeah. So they're super down to earth.
Are these people from Wisconsin much? Right? That's exactly
Scream Wisconsin.
what
That's
you
awesome.
would expect of our own. Sitting next to this guy's...
That's awesome.
I don't want to call him nemesis because they have a good relationship, but, his
It's
number
still a
one
competitor,
opponent, right? And you think LeBeau's parents didn't want to see their son win gold?
Right.
But they had that moment, and there's a lot of mutual respect. And what Dirk was talking about on the front end of that is, Lori had asked him, do you think Jordan's when he was 17, those Beijing Olympics helped prepare him for all of this? And he said, actually, more what prepared him is being a superstar over here and competing in the Netherlands and feeling that media,
that energy,
and that pressure, and the fans and all of that actually prepared him more. And on that, last thing from him, here's Dirk Stoltz. His son, Jordan Stoltz, from here in Kewaskum, Wisconsin, has become a superstar, as we predicted, as Lori was telling us for years was going to happen. So she asked him a really important question. Lori said, I don't know what you're hearing is going on back in the States, but all I'm hearing is it's Jordan, like he is a budding superstar. How do you think y'all are going to handle that?
Celebrity, fame, it's changed every athlete I've ever covered. How do you keep it from affecting? I know you guys are down to earth and everything, but how will that not affect him being a superstar now, a megastar?
I think I don't think it's going to affect him or any of us. I mean, we all know where we came from, and it was nothing, right? And had to work our way up. So it's like, why should we treat people different or do things, you know what I'm saying? It's at the end of the day, we're all people, and, just because you do better something in the world, you don't have to get an attitude or anything like that, because you got to look back to where you came from, and it's nothing.
Oh, that's awesome.
And this kid could reach Olympics immortality. Right? If he wins gold in these next two, like, who's brought home 4 golds from any single games? That's rare company in the history of the Olympic Games. So, like, he's on the precipice of that, and here's his dad. And most other people, you wouldn't believe it. Well, that's not going to change him. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. I believe
Yeah, you believe everything this guy's saying. It's amazing. That's awesome.
Wheaties box? Put him on the Wheaties box?
Absolutely.
Come on.
Absolutely. There you go.
9:31, Lori Nickel will join us tomorrow as we preview Jordan's 1,500 race that should go off around 9:30. The event starts our time.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature, sponsored by the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. February is Heart Month, a time to focus on heart health and awareness. Here to tell us more is Jeremiah Depta, a Froedtert and Medical College of Wisconsin interventional cardiologist. Doctor, what is heart valve disease?
Heart valves are one-way doors that help to keep blood flowing in the right direction through your heart. The heart has 4 valves: aortic, mitral, pulmonary, and tricuspid. And when heart valve disease happens, that means that one or more of these valves do not open or close properly. And that can lead to the heart not working efficiently, and the pressure can build up in the heart and lungs, and that can cause people to have reduced blood flow to the entire body. The important thing is that people know that with heart valve disease, they may not always be symptomatic in the early stages or even not have any symptoms at all. So you may not even know that you have heart disease until it's advanced, and that's why awareness is crucial.
What are common symptoms of heart valve disease?
The common symptoms of heart valve disease include shortness of breath, especially during exercise, and where you just feel increased fatigue or tiredness when you're doing your everyday activities. As it advances, people can develop swelling in their feet and legs. They can feel reduced exercise tolerance. They can even have a heart murmur, and sometimes it can even affect your appetite. If anybody experiences these symptoms, it's really important that they contact their healthcare provider.
Why should someone choose the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin for their heart care?
Here at Froedtert Medical College of Wisconsin, we have a team of heart valve disease specialists that treat the full range of structural heart conditions, including the valves and the vessels of the heart. Many of our patients will have access to the latest treatments and trials. An example is transcatheter tricuspid valve replacement or repair. And we are one of 2 hospitals who offer this procedure in Wisconsin. Our new catheter-based treatments can repair the valve or replace it through these small incisions. And that means patients have very short recovery times. And they're very acceptable options for patients as opposed to patients getting open heart surgery. In addition, our team is involved in the leading-edge clinical trials that offer patients many options that may not be available to patients elsewhere.
For more information on heart health, Froedtert.com/heart.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Millions of inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail, so save thousands. Save big on new hot tubs, spas, and saunas, also cold tubs. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show this weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Visit 1-800-SPASale.com.
Hey, WDTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
That's a lie.
I'm going to Potawatomi if I can get there.
Bill!
I got bit by one, and I liked it.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
I don't even know what that means.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The search for 9 skiers who had set off on a backcountry trip were part of a group that got caught in an avalanche near Lake Tahoe. 6 of them rescued, but there's no sign of the other 9. Billionaire Les Wexner is being deposed today by members of the House Oversight Committee. They are asking him about his decades-long association with Jeffrey Epstein. In the search for Savannah Guthrie's mother, police are using a new tool that could possibly pick up signals from her pacemaker.
Investigators are using technology called Blue Fly that can trace signals from Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker as they canvass by drone, helicopter, and on foot. So far, no sign of the pacemaker.
ABC's Aaron Katursky. A coalition of health and environmental groups are suing the EPA after President Trump determined last week that greenhouse gases do not pose a public health risk. Skier Michaela Schifrin's 8-year Olympic medal drought is over. The American skiing standout put 2 dominant runs in to win the women's slalom at the Winter Games. This is ABC News.
Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow Jones Industrial Average now, after an hour worth of trading, up almost 300 points to 49,831. The S&P 500 at 6894 is up 51. And the NASDAQ is up more than 1% at 22,823. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Roads are good. Everything looking all right. A little bit of slowdown by the construction, but otherwise good to go.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Nice one today. Windy and warm with a high of 60 degrees and a lot of sunshine. Clouds tonight, low down to 35. For tomorrow, chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon or evening hours and a high of 48. For Friday, a high of 40 degrees. Rain-snow mix is likely with some minor snow accumulations. And kind of back to winter for the weekend. Saturday, a high of 34 with a few flurries. Sunday, a slight chance of snow, otherwise mostly cloudy, and a high of 32. Milwaukee now at 55.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed. Mamma mia! Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for QC Kinetics. Think of this number, 40,000 people. I mean, 40,000 is just small city, suburb. And 40,000 people are choosing relief without surgery. That's right. They're tired of their knees constantly bothering them. They're tired of living with a bad back. Oh, yep, there's Jerry with the back again. Oh, yeah, well, I can't go do the fun things that everybody else does because I'm Jerry and I got a bad back and I don't do anything about it. My shoulder hurts too. There's things you can do and you can live without pain. It's QC Kinetics. So this is what you do. You call QC Kinetics and you can do so for free. Get yourself a sit-down, 414-667-5559, and be like Jerry, perhaps, and learn about QC Kinetics and its advanced regenerative treatments that it offers. That way you can activate yours and Jerry's body's natural healing power. It's safe, it's natural, and it's non-surgical. That's the best part. You don't have to go under the knife. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve. If you got projects waiting at home, DIY Days at Fleet Farm is a perfect time to get started. Drill into great deals on power tools, workwear, storage, and more only at Fleet Farm. Milwaukee Deal Days are going on now as well. Shop in the store to find exclusive savings on performance-driven power tool combos, accessories, and more from a brand you can count on. Chick Days are at Fleet Farm, and they're taking pre-orders. Order from over 60 different breeds and start your chicken journey with confidence. Visit FleetFarm.com to pre-order those live chicks today and check out their upcoming seminar schedule. Fleet Farm.
2026 Brewers Group tickets are on sale now, and planning your next event at American Family Field has never been easier. Whether it's a company outing, family reunion, or night out with friends, bring your group of 15 or more to the ballpark and enjoy up to 25% off single game tickets with no service fees. All Brewers home games are available now. Start planning today, and a Brewers Group ticket rep will handle the rest. But hurry, tickets are moving fast. Plan your 2026 outing at brewers.com/groups.
Big day today, huge day in the court system when it comes to social media.
Happening today.
Yes, as you may or may not know, in Los Angeles, there's been a trial over whether social media companies have been deliberately getting children addicted to their apps. I think we can all agree that children and adults are addicted to apps, but is it being done intentionally? And it's one case that's been brought by a young woman and her family filing this lawsuit against different social media companies, including Meta, which is the operator of Facebook and Instagram. And today, Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, is expected to testify, and people are lining up and have been.
The anticipation for Zuckerberg's appearance today is so great. People have been sleeping outside the courtroom overnight to hold their place in line, hoping to get a seat inside for today's testimony.
That's ABC's Nicole D'Antonio. It's very interesting to see what this means or what he'll say. because he has testified under oath before, not before a jury of his peers, but he did so in Washington. So we've heard from Zuckerberg before. That was the time, remember that, when he turned and apologized to victims' families and different things? It was a little awkward.
It was super awkward, although in fairness, a lot of what he does in his mannerisms and his, he's kind of an awkward guy anyway, and then to be put in that position, not saying he didn't owe him an apology, just,
So this
but
is
yes, awkward.
So there's two social companies involved here. A couple of them have already settled in this one. So it's YouTube and it's Facebook, or I'm sorry, Meta, that are involved here. So ABC legal analyst Brian Buckmore talks a little bit about how and why the jurors may have a tough time buying this argument, whether or not social media companies have been deliberately getting children addicted.
They're pointing at KGM, that's the name for the 19-year-old who's the plaintiff in this case. They're pointing at KGM and saying, yes, there could be some negative things about social media, but let's talk about her, that before she got into social media, she had already had a therapist. There was already issues with her, and that's what caused a lot of the mental and physical issues that she's arguing with, not social media.
So that's like big tobacco saying, hey, look, this guy was already sick before he started smoking cigarettes.
Interesting.
Now, will that play? Yeah, that's not what you're going to hear from Zuckerberg. What we anticipate you're going to hear from Zuckerberg today is more of, hey, no, look what we've done. Look at the inroads we've made. Look how we've reacted. Look how we've now done this, that, the other thing to make it safer for children. That would be the anticipation.
9:42 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Gruber Law Offices. One call. That's all.
They treated me like family. They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
It's a great time to do this work as our temperatures have gotten more mild, but we're going to get cold again. If you got one of those spots in your house that's too cold when it's really cold outside, but then you jack up the heat and now the rest of the house is too warm, USA Insulation is the team you need to get in your house. Vince Vitrano here for Jeff and his team who do proper insulation from USA in a number of different ways. It forms a thermal barrier, you know this, protective layer that maintains the warmth in the winter and coolness in the summer. And right now, still time to get in on thousands of dollars in government efficiency credits. So how it works is whether you're doing the bat insulation or the foam that goes in your walls or blowing insulation in the attic, Jeff and the team at USA Insulation find what's available to you, the grants, the rebates, the reductions, and then however much that adds up to, they discount that on the cost of your project up front. USA Insulation. Get started at usainsulation.net.
Hey, the Lenten season is here. Experience the fabulous all-you-care-to-eat Friday fish fry at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. WTMJ's John Mercure here, one of the best. All other dinners are buy one, get one free every night, even Saturdays. Savor your favorite steak, the twin lobster tails, the mixed grill of a filet, shrimp, and scallops, honey glazed salmon, any entree, ribs, you got it. All buy one, get one free. Desserts also buy one, get one free. Only at the famous Fox and Hounds. Unwind tonight with an old-fashioned. Choose from 20 bourbons, 100 wines. Enjoy in one of the 8 elegant dining rooms with 7 real wood-burning fireplaces. You're going to feel warm and welcomed and cozy. Take your family to the Fox and Hounds this week. Half of your dinners are free. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the Holy Hill Shrine, serving dinner from 4 p.m. today. Dine early. Tables are open. Serving Saturday lunch from 11 till 2. Google, call, and reserve your Friday haddock Lenten fish fry and free dinner. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
9:45 here on News Radio 620 WTMJ. So with Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, Shrove Tuesday, all of that in the books. The Punchki. Today begins the Christian holy season of Lent. We, of course, coming off of the Punchkis.
You got to have a prune one today.
So prune one. That's the one. That's what you recommended me. I've never had one.
You have to have a prune one today.
You got to have a prune one, they said.
Okay.
What did you have yesterday?
Whatever Sandy gave me. I think it was raspberry.
Was it raspberry? That's what I asked for. That's what I had.
I believe so. I mean, it was some kind of fruit. It wasn't prune.
It wasn't lemon.
No, it was not lemon.
So you know what that
I'm
looks
sorry,
like.
it's just a pastry with some red stuff in the
Tasty,
middle.
though. It delivered, right? It hit
It's
well.
just fine.
So put away the accordion for another year, nonetheless. So time to talk about the reason for the season, if you will. I've brought this up before. The business of fasting and Lent and the other things. I worked with this guy over at TMJ4 News. He's one of the smartest guys in the newsroom, was the assignment manager, Mark Krieger. He's now in that same role over at Fox 6. And I love to share this on an annual basis. As Mark would share it with our newsroom, he would grow frustrated every year with a lack of understanding of the various implications and practices of Lent not being fully understood by some of the people who were covering the news, the reporters, the writers, producers. And some of it wasn't their fault. Like if something wasn't your culture growing up, you may not know. But then you get sent to cover noon mass on Ash Wednesday at Jesu.
Yeah, right.
And you don't know, if that's not your culture, you don't know some of the ins and outs, but stuff ends up in the news that then people say, well, that's not right. And it should be right on the news, right? That's a fair expectation.
Yep.
So Mark would put out this note every year, and some of it's in the way that he wrote it, but some of it, I guess, some things that we can all learn. So I share some of this note from Mark Krieger on this day. The following is some information you may find useful in covering and writing stories about the season of Lent. Lent is celebrated by Christians: Baptist, Congregational, Episcopalian, Lutheran, Presbyterian, Roman Catholic, United Church of Christ, United Methodist, and non-denominational Christian churches. We should not write just because we attended one denomination's mass or services that they are the only ones observing the season. First day of Lent is known as Ash Wednesday. That is today. Okay. Ashes are normally placed, and you may see this in your workplace. If you're not Christian or if you're not devout, you may see folks who have gotten ashes on their foreheads, and they are to wear them around through the day. That was me, back to Mark's writing here. They are placed on the foreheads of the faithful during religious services. This is most often done by members of the Roman Catholic faith, although it is becoming more ecumenical in recent years. The placing of ashes on oneself hints at an ancient ritual of covering oneself in ashes in penitence. It also reminds people that they are dust and is a public showing of repentance. Usually the ashes come from dried palms from Palm Sunday of the previous year. We talk about Lent, the Lenten season. Mercure was talking about the fish fry, right?
Yep.
That's part of it. Lent itself runs for 40 days. This parallels the 40 days Jesus spent fasting and in prayer in the wilderness. The word Lent comes from the Anglo-Saxon, meaning springtime, or when the days lengthen. Lent runs from Ash Wednesday until Holy Week, which begins with Palm Sunday. In April this year includes Maundy or Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Saturday's Easter Vigil. This is all leading up to Easter, which brings the new season of Eastertide. Color of the season is purple. This is also a sign of repentance. Also, Catholics and Episcopalians attend Mass. Everyone else attends services, right? So if you find yourself at Lutheran, you're Lutheran, right? So if you go to Lutheran church, you don't call it Mass.
That's true.
Finally, this note is not intended to slight or offend staff members of other faiths. If anyone would like to write up a message about Yom Kippur or Hanukkah or Ramadan.
I was waiting for that.
Right?
Did he write a similar note about Ramadan?
Or any other holy days / seasons as they come up on the calendar, please do it, as it can be a learning experience for all of us. Mark Krieger,
all right.
The annual renewal, and I share this with you as he once shared it with me.
My question is, do you think that it's reported on the same way now as it was 20 years ago? Do we get the same amount of stories and coverage of holidays other than maybe Christmas and the beginning of Hanukkah? Do we see that same amount? Back in the day, it seemed like there was a lot of coverage. I remember sending a reporter to a drive-through Ash
drive-through
Wednesday.
ashes?
That was like 10 years ago, at least, if not longer.
I think even in the Lenten season, much like people complain about on Christmas, so we cover the fish fry, but do you cover why people are fasting?
Right.
Right. And I'll let you all debate that because we're almost out of time. It's 10 minutes before 10 o'clock.
See what all the buzz is about at Tyson's. Order your bees online at Tysons.com now through April 17th. Plus free shipping directly to your home. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, Tyson's has all your beekeeping essentials. Shop our bee product selection now and take $30 off your bee product purchase over $200 with online promo code BEES30 at Tysons.com. Now through April 17th.
Come on into Tyson's, more for you.
Compliments still coming in over our new flooring from Hunt's Floors. Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. Vince Vitrano here. Want to see how it looks? You can still text floor to the WTMJ Talk and Text line. Floor to 855-616-1620. I want to send you the before and after pics of our house with some beat up old carpeting. Went from that to these beautiful wood floors, all thanks to Hunt's Flooring in Greenfield. Great process from the selection. We worked with Phil. He actually found us a great deal on the wood. We thought we weren't going to be able to afford that, but he made it possible. Measurements in our home with Tony. Dylan was our installer. Personal service from Taylor every step of the way. This is why you go local. Family-owned Hunts for your new floors, vinyl, hardwood, or carpeting. Plenty of things are in stock right now, so if you want to get started on your project right away, see the difference it made in our home, text floor to 855-616-1620 and tell them Vinny sent you when you stop out at the showroom at Highway 100 in Greenfield or get started at huntsflooring.com.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Point taken with Scafidi and Bry.
The invitation went out to Attorney General Pam Bondi. She acted about as unprofessionally as anyone could ever act in front of a House committee.
Over something incredibly serious when we were talking about the Epstein files, but the fact that was what a lot of the questions were about, and her being that defiant, like, I'm not sure she won herself any fans yesterday.
No, I don't like her persona. I don't like her attitude.
Weekdays from 10 to noon on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
You were a competitive kid and young adult.
Okay.
Did you ever get motivation, whether on the football field at Tulsa East or on the clay at St. Norbert's, by something someone may have yelled to you, like, let's go, Vitrano, or yeah, Vinny, yeah,
Oh,
or
for
anything
sure.
like that?
Yeah, right.
It's all you. That
Lots
kind
of
thing.
fans for me. No, but I know what you're saying, right? Of course, yeah.
But sometimes you get a little juice in that, or
Yes.
that older brother from college is back for the game, and that ramps you up or
That
something like
affected
that.
you.
Yeah, right.
Me?
Here is a perfect example in a video that is now going viral. UConn was playing Arizona State University in baseball. Kid's name is Dominic Longo. He is up to bat, and I want you to listen closely to what is yelled in the background from the fans. 23, my mom thinks you're hot, is what is yelled at him. This is a college baseball player. All right, so everyone's kind of chuckling. Ha, ha, ha. Here comes the pitch. Gone. Gone.
I didn't have to see the video.
2-run shot. ASU up 2-0 at the end of 2. Don't know if he meant mom.
No, I was going to say the ultimate flex would be then touch home plate and go right back to the
Tip your
backstop.
cap, ma'am.
Hey, I like that better. Hey, kid, where's your mom? Let's go find your mom.
That video just blowing up right now.
I like the tip of the cap. Ma'am.
Nice to meet you, ma'am. Thanks for coming to
done.
the game. So, yeah, there you go.
Thanks for coming out.
And supporting ASU baseball.
Now, what if, even better, what if she meant it to, the kid meant it to troll him?
To tease him, maybe.
Because that's maybe an opposing fan trying to distract him.
You know what? That's a good point.
Oh, yeah? You know what I did with that? Do you like apples?
Yeah, but that's a weird thing to troll to someone. Hey, my mom thinks you're good looking.
Well, it's all...
Like, why would you say that to somebody?
Because you're just trying to get in the head, right? Anything to distract them.
I wonder how mom felt after that. Honey,
pretty good,
up.
Right? How'd Dad feel? he's sitting right there.
What? Joyce, is this true?
I didn't say that.
Is that right? For
I
sure?
did not say that. What? Also, that kid's getting slapped for that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, real quickly, thank you to Tauscher, to Dr. Ken Harris for joining us today. Mike Dubusky talking all things Facebook, because Zuckerberg will testify later today in that social media flap. And another congratulations and attaboy to you, fine sir, for your upcoming achievement, which I know you're going to spend a lot of time and blood, sweat, and tears over, being the new co-chair of the UPAF. But what's the official
annual
word?
Community campaign?
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So I'm going to spend 4 months bothering you for money.
Not true,
For
but
the
I know.
best reason.
Yeah, for the best reasons ever.
I could not, would not on a boat. I will not with a goat. I will not eat them in the rain. I will not eat them on a train. Not in the dark, not on a tree, not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I will not eat them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The Village Board in Menominee Falls has approved incentives for Milwaukee Tool's planned expansion. The tool maker is planning a $205 million project that includes new buildings and remodeling existing offices. The Hampton Inn and Suites